Grateful, thankful, alive and kicking. We're here for another episode of the Statement Podcast. My co-host, Loggers.
Yo, and we got Moonlyte in the building.
Come on.
Big up. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I had to reach out.
Appreciate it.
And you know what? We should have done this years ago, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like lost conversations. If we don't speak about it, how's the next generation gonna know?
It's true.
What we're about, what we did.
It's taken a whole pandemic, right?
Yeah, for this to happen.
Right.
So that's a positive, though.
Yeah, no, for real.
So how you been? What's been going on?
I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
Making the best out of these times, you know. It's crazy times, but I'm becoming creative. Is forcing me to be more creative and
You've
diverse.
always been that. You've always been that.
So hold on, with the creative side, tell us about the creative side of it. Is like you're talking about being creative now and blah blah.
What
blah,
during pandemic and stuff?
yeah, like
What for me personally?
yeah.
All right, so I launched a online restaurant, so to speak. So
Okay.
it was called Drunky Monkey, or it is called Drunky Monkey. Just gave it a name that I thought was catchy, and it really took off during the first lockdown, say like March 2019. Again,
Okay,
that
yeah.
was when the first lockdown was, right?
No, 2020.
No, 2020.
2020, yeah, so
It
yeah.
feels like 2 years.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it
It's
does.
just crazy.
It does.
Yeah. So March 2020, we launched it, and then it went. You ordered online. We had delivery drivers that went all over London. So that's something that I never really looked into prior to.
Because that sounded a bit crazy, like an online restaurant, like
Yeah.
to say, you know, it's a game and you just go in there
Yeah,
with
no,
your own character
no.
and eat the food.
Just more like there wasn't a base for it. If
Okay.
that makes sense. It was just more you order it online. People who it started off with people that knew me. They know that I don't really deal with any food that's not certified.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Is it a ghost restaurant or is it one of them trap kitchen sort of places?
When you say ghost, what do you
You know,
mean?
like ghost restaurant is
Yeah.
like you don't actually have a place where people can go into it.
Right.
But it
Yeah.
on Uber Eats and all of the deliveries and stuff. But
It's a delivery order.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so basically like
different ways people are doing it.
like that. Yeah. And
so
then
deliveries and
yeah.
that's ghost restaurant. Yeah.
basically yes, it was a ghost restaurant.
So how was they booking it?
First time I heard that term actually, ghost restaurant.
They were ringing up. Email.
No, it was just all done online.
All
There
online.
was no,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
literally you just click, just like you would do on Argos or something like
Yeah,
that. Instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
buying toys, you buy jerk chicken.
You know what's hilarious?
What's that?
How many years ago when we've been in this game
Yeah,
and nobody wanted to touch the online thing. Everybody
It's
just wanted
true,
to come
innit?
and put the cash in your
It's
hand
true,
and
it's true.
have that ticket in their hand and
It's
everything.
true.
Now, wow.
I remember I used to drive
Anything
like
without online.
I used to drive to halfway across the country to deliver tickets. Like you know how much petrol that is,
Listen,
and I think Dagz still does that.
That's why I weren't gonna say
I
nothing.
realized.
That's why I was keeping you quiet.
I had a conversation with Dagz one time. I said, Dagz, why don't you just do tickets? He said, nah, Moonlyte. My crowd don't like that. They like to see me in person, man. So I'm like, all right, fair
It's the
enough.
whole experience, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But for the people who don't know you,
Yeah.
like who Moonlyte is, who is Moonlyte?
Who am I? Well,
Because it's hard. Sorry, it's hard to like when we're doing the introduction. It's hard to say what you are, like the DJ, the promoter,
the artist.
the club owner. So how would you sum it up? What is Moonlyte? Who is Moonlyte?
do you know what? To put it into a one kind of word, I would say like a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise I'm gonna have to list a load of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, you're going to have to list them too. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because people want to know what you do. So, yeah.
Well, I started off in school spitting to garage on the cassette tapes.
What was your name back then? Was it still Moonlyte?
Still Moonlyte.
Okay.
And you know the funny thing about it is, I never knew that side of Moonlyte.
Oh, for real?
I've never known that side of Moonlyte. So that's new to me.
So we started off when I was in like year 9, year 10 in secondary school. My cousin had records, and then we started spitting to garage like a few of the MCs around the area, because in my ends, the MCs that
Where are you from?
East, so like Manor Park I grew up in.
Okay.
So you had a lot of people like DEE, Sharky Major.
Home of grime, basically.
What's the
all them.
short guy, the high top called Tempety?
Okay.
So all of those, we all went to the same gets. So we all were in the same youth centre and stuff like that.
Right.
So started spitting, then I started holding events in my school hall, and we used to have like Sharky, Gets, Kano, all of them guys, DEE spitting, and I used to have my mum's speakers. At that time, there was no mobile phones.
Tell me you've got flipping video footage of that. Though,
I don't
please,
know.
bruv.
I don't
You
even.
must.
But
do.
how though? There was no
Just
phones.
no regular
No,
camera.
we were just about able to bloody get into the hall, let alone.
Those are worth
Do you know
something,
what? I got some videos somewhere.
Yeah, those are worth something.
Yeah,
though.
I
Those are worth
got some
something,
videos somewhere. So yeah, we started off doing that, and then a friend of mine, he's slightly older than me, Smiley. His cousin is a Branty from 90% Hit Squad.
Okay, yeah.
So then a Branty,
Shouts out to Branty.
big up
Yeah,
a
man.
Branty now, he's big in the game.
Yeah, man, big.
So a Branty used to do these Ghana Independence events in Stratford Rex, huge.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Stratford Rex had
Yeah.
the levels, it had 2-3 levels.
Was that his 90% days?
90% Hit
Yes.
Squad, him and Shugs, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we used to turn up, me and Smiley, at like 5 p.m. Event starts at 10, obviously, and we used to have to just move all the chairs and move all the. I was the out there guy, so proper had to just carry the drinks, and then for that he gave us a set in the tiny room. I was like 15 then. Do you know what I mean? He gave us a set in a tiny room, and then did that for a year or two, and then
You've definitely done your initiation.
yeah, definitely.
He passed.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to drop us to
1000%.
places like Cockfosters when I was like, I had no idea that place existed.
Yeah, of course
to
not.
go do flyering and
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
we done all of that.
Yeah.
Then I'm emceeing in the small room, and I've always said to everyone in school I wanted to get on Deja because Sharky, Nasty Crew were there, Roll Deep were there, and I wanted to get on there. That was my aim, to have people listening to me in school whilst being on Deja, which at the time was the biggest station.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
Deja's killing it.
Yeah. So I'm in the Ghana Independence now, and I'm emceeing, and Diesel's come up to me, and he's like, "Bro, you can MC, you know." And he's like, "You know what? I run Deja," and I'm like, I'm just like so gassed. So and then he's like, "But I got a set time for you, but I don't think you're gonna want it." He could have told me flipping 3 a.m. to 3:30. I would have done that set
You'd have
time.
done it, yeah,
It was like
yeah.
12 to 2 on a Tuesday. So then I was like, boom, I want that. So we were like the first people to play like dancehall on that station, and that's how we. So then we got into like Young Man Standing and all those events
Okay,
started to branch
yes.
out.
Stampede.
Stampede.
You sacrifice the garage.
Basically, yeah. So we had to sacrifice the garage because at that time you had the big guys on the station, like the Sharkies, and so we weren't gonna come on there and
That was
just
smart to do
yeah.
And the queue was too big.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
queue
yeah,
was
yeah,
too
yeah.
big.
What
So-
made you think like that at that age though? You know?
Do you know what? It's mad, and the funny thing is
Good idea though.
I'm gonna skip and come back, but Sneaky, obviously
Yeah.
Shannon Amara,
Shannon
and
Amara.
he'll tell you. So he wanted to get on Deja. This is years after I've been on there, right?
Okay, yeah.
So he was I don't know if you knew, Sneaky was a rapper as well. And
No, I never knew that.
He was a
Didn't know that,
garage,
no.
yeah. Shannon
Okay,
Amara, he's a garage
okay.
MC, and he spit in the grime and stuff.
Okay.
So I told him, just collect a few R&B records and go on there as an R&B DJ. They're not going to let you on as a garage DJ.
Yeah.
And from there, he did that. They gave him a set, and then his career kind of took off from there as well. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know how I thought of that. To be fair, it's
At
just
that age, sometimes it's ego driven. You just want to do what you
yeah,
want.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So
No,
that's a big business decision. from
Yeah,
an
no,
early age.
yeah. So yeah, I got onto Deja, which opened a lot of doors for me. I started going to their events at Palace Pavilion, which was Stampede. Kenny was running. You remember Old Man Ken from Palace? Yeah, he was running then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when at one of the events, I pulled him to the side. I said, "How do I get a venue like this?" And then he was like, "All right, it's gonna cost you like say £600." And to me, that's like 60 grand. Do you know what I
At
mean?
the
Like,
time.
yeah, it's like I can't get that. So I had to go back to my ends, and there was a place called Palace Pavilion, which is Forest Gate. No, sorry, Princess Alice. I'm skipping Princess
Oh,
Alice, which is in Forest Gate.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've gone to the guy, he was an African guy that owned it, and I said, "Look, you know, I want to book this. You know, it's like a Thursday." He was like, "Yeah, it's gonna cost you like $250." And I was like, I can get that. So I promoted it. I'd done the flyers on my printer. I had flipping at that event we had DEE, Sharky, like the whole Nasty Crew. I got the flyer though. Me obviously cold as ice and whatever. And then so I get to the venue at the beginning. The guy's like, "Oh, have you got my money?" I'm like, "Yeah. My dad's gonna bring the money." Like these times, my dad don't even know I'm having.
My dad, you know.
So I'm risking it, but I knew that I'll get the money from the door. There was no tickets then, either. So it's literally relying on people to come to pay. And I remember that day, we must have made probably like 400 or 450. Like,
Yeah.
so I gave him his money. Like as soon as it came through the door, and I was like, yeah, my dad thingy bob, yeah. So then that kind of propelled it, and then I used a little bit of that money, and I had a few people to help me. Then I went Palace Pavilion, and then you know what I mean, and
built it from there.
Rest is, I mean, that's the that's the short version of the first part.
Talking about Palace Pavilion,
Yeah.
if I think back, that is where I actually met you.
Probably.
You don't remember it?
Nah, I've seen
What rave?
what rave or where.
I can't remember what rave it was.
Was it Browning's rave?
We'd have to think about that off air. But
Yeah.
I remember you approached me and you said you knew who I was.
Yeah.
Because he was connected.
Yeah.
You introduced yourself.
Yeah.
And
Because I used to hear about G Crew. Yeah, at the time, and I think those times it was like I kept on hearing, like I wasn't like part of that circle yet, but I kept on hearing girls saying G Crew. And I'm like, who is this G Crew I'm hearing all the time? Like, should be Moonlyte. I'm joking. But no. So
it's weird about the actual divide between north, east, west, and south. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear about these people, but you don't have a clue who the hell they are.
yeah,
Do you understand what I mean?
And back then,
And them times there, you probably laugh at name G Crew. What the kind of name is that?
no,
for
you know
yourself?
what? At the time, it sounded like a bad man crew. No, it didn't sound like no joke crew. No, 6 man in a G crew. Like, I wasn't messing with G crew, boy. No, it weren't no joke.
So hold on. So when you did see him personally, you was like, what? This bad man? No, I'm joking.
What are you trying to say?
No.
No, shall I tell you what it was about G crew? Actually, I know it now. Is that you guys kind of did what I did for your era.
Okay.
So you were part of the older crew who were older than you, which
Yeah.
was, I believe, Studio Express,
Special
Special
touch.
touch.
who are like the generation or two older than you.
Yeah.
But then you had your own stuff, and then you had some events like Threesome. That was yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brink.
But was
Yeah.
it them times?
But I don't know. I'm really bad
think it
with
was.
dates, so I don't know what year that
Well,
was.
Threesome was 2003.
Oh, that was 2003.
Yeah, about 3.
So I'm
2000.
but I just remember.
I'm bad with dates as
Yeah,
well, so that's
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah.
I remember
That's
that. I
all on
remember
him.
that. I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that.
So I remember I kept on hitting. And did you had events that were
Cocktail.
cocktail? See, now you're getting it. So that's what it was. It was cocktail and those events. And at the time, I don't think I weren't getting booked and I weren't there, but it's in my ends. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Cocktail.
So
I'm
how
like-
did that make you feel then?
It made me feel hungry, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, I loved all of it. You know what I mean? It's just like exciting, hungry, and do you know what I mean? Just wanted to. I knew that it's mad because I'm not even giving you the full story either. Because if I was to say parallel, my dad's a video guy. So when I was 14, I was in all the dancehall dances.
What's his name?
Moses,
Okay.
video man Moses, up front
yeah.
Moses. So
Name rings a bell.
he-
Name
yeah,
rings a bell.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
he filmed all of the dances, so I had access to like Tony Matter, and I was like, and all the yard scene, like Karkali and all those sort of guys that had the boat rides. There was boat rides days, Chris Coldfinger days,
Yeah.
Aquarius Disco days, Lex. We're talking Lex, Acapulco, Chicago's,
you know.
Peckham. I could go. So I was studying like the Tony Matterings in Chimes. I was in Chimes. I actually got to DJ in Chimes. But I was in Chimes, and when Victor V was like 12, 18 and then times there. Do you get what I mean? Like literally. So I got to see that side of things as well, because I was going to all the christenings, the parties. So it's mixed with kind of like. So I got to see how the yard man did it.
Because that's like your style when you're MCing.
Yeah.
That's your style.
Yeah, it is.
So I
It's
guess
like a
that's
fusion.
where
It's like
that's
a fusion. Yeah,
because you know how to mix it.
Yeah.
You can go there, you can go
Yeah,
there.
basically.
So
So that's also, I think, a big thing in what influenced me,
Yeah, definitely.
like the style and stuff like that, and the juggling, and do you know what I mean? And that going through. So we've done. I've got Palace Pavilion now. Being on Deja, Major Ace, R.I.P. Major Aces.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was a big help because he used to book us as pay as you goes, dancehall,
sides.
R&B,
Yeah,
hip hop.
okay, yeah.
So that gave us all those sidewinders.
As pay as you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we was the and he used to look after us. I had an XR2 at the time with no brakes, and I remember Nicky Slimting. He was in the back of the XR2 crying with Nicky. We was getting like hitching because it was at the time it was like heartless pay as you go. So we used to travel
Yeah.
as like a big Click Entourage.
Yeah, Entourage.
But I don't know how he got the short straw, but he was in the back of the
Back of the
XR2.
XR2.
And
So,
then,
hold on
yeah,
a
go
second.
ahead.
You keep talking about us.
Yeah.
Now, who is us? You're talking about Cold as Ice now, right?
So, all right. So, originally,
Cold as Ice had a few different members.
yeah, it was.
Because I was about to ask, how did Cold as Ice form?
Good question. Jesus.
And who came up with a name?
I would like to say it was me, but if I'm wrong,
He said, like to say. Yeah, the
yeah,
key
because
word.
I feel like it was me, but I can't put it on 100%.
How did you get the name Moonlyte and Cold as Ice before you moved on?
Moonlight's name, it sounds like, I always think to change the story, but it's really rubbish. I was like in
So just
school.
talk the
Man said
truth.
it was a make up a story now. Go.
I was in school and I didn't have a DJ name in it. And I got a booking in a church hall. And I must have been about 15.
Can't have no bad man name in the church.
And then I literally, the person said, look, I need to do these invitations. What's your DJ name? I said, I don't know, man. I literally just looked outside and saw the moon and just said Moonlight. It's literally that. There's no glamour.
This guy cracks me up. with
There's no glamour behind it. I can't even think of a good story.
That was a good one.
Literally like that.
There was a venue called Moonlight back in the day as well, wasn't it?
Moonlighting.
Yeah. It's funny,
in
people
West End.
always used to.
Always,
West
yeah,
End.
yeah.
So I think that gave me a little boost as well because people were like, "Yeah, I heard of you," but I'm like, "Nah, you heard
No,
of
you-
the club,
no,
bro.
yeah.
not me."
In the West End.
Yeah, in West End, I heard of you. Or so that's how I got the name. As for Cold as Ice, I don't remember.
So who were the members? Who was the first
Originally-
Cold as Ice members?
Originally, it was Smiley. I would like to say he. So Smiley's maybe 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And at the time where I didn't really have finance, Smiley would be the one taking me to bigger embarking, the record shops. That there was a few in Ilford, Ganks Hill, and obviously you had Blacker Dread, Brixton, Simple Simon. So it was mad. So I imagine in school, I knew Simple Simon.
Oh, wow.
So Red Records was up the road
Yeah.
as well. But in school, I knew Simple Simon.
Okay.
But obviously, I didn't. So then there's been a big gap, and then I've come
Hold on.
back.
You went to school in South or Simple went to school in East?
No. So no. So
Record
I'm saying the story wrong. So I
Okay,
used to
okay.
travel from my school, which was in East, Barkingside, to Brixton. There was one bus that went to Walthamstow, and then we
Okay.
took the train to Brixton,
Yeah,
Cold
yeah,
Harbour Lane.
yeah,
And
Victoria
then
Line.
Simple Simon from Girlflex was working behind him.
Yeah.
What,
Okay.
in Blacker Dread?
Yeah, in Blacker
Okay.
Dread. Yeah, yes.
No, no.
So he used to give us he used to look after us. There's another guy there. If Simple Simon's watching, he's going to laugh because he knows what I'm going to say. He was a good guy, but there was a guy called Don Angelo, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
Every time you
Yeah.
used to ask him to hear a track, why you want to hear that far?
Yeah.
Buy it, no. Why you want to hear it
He's
far?
a shorter guy,
Yeah,
bald head,
yes,
round
that's it,
face. I
that's
mean,
it.
yeah, I remember Don
And
Angelo.
at the time when tunes are like £2.53 for one,
yeah,
and
7-inch.
I'm in school. Lucky Smiley had his job or whatever, 7-inch as you were saying. You know what I mean? We got to choose the pieces on the rhythm. Showtime Rhythm had how many
Yeah.
pieces?
That was a hustle. That was a hustle.
Yeah.
Had
Certain
to.
pieces ain't getting played. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Listen,
So
we spoke about how me and Woodgie used to go from different record shots from like one of the other podcasts as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which-
so
which-
the one. He's the one. Well, R.I.P. Woodgie, by the way. He's the one who first showed me Dub Vendor, which was up in West London. No, sorry, not
Labrador
the Labrador Grove one. The one in.
Oh, you said this again.
it wasn't in Tottenham, was it?
No,
that one there,
The other Dub Vendor was in South.
Somewhere.
In
Put in the comments. Put in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't hit that one.
I can't.
Junction.
There you go.
Clapham
Is
Junction.
it Clapham Junction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you used to what? You was going searching for the best.
Yeah, man, because I mean, I found that Blacker Dread always had the pieces that you want, but if you go there early. If I don't get them from there, then I'd have to go up to Junction. Do you understand what I mean? Junction had them sometimes as well. But Blacker Dread, I always relied on Blacker Dread because he always had what I
them,
wanted,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all the pieces as well.
And it was mad because what a lot of DJs don't know, in fact, yeah, what a lot of DJs don't know is that you, as long as this mentioned, you had to get there early because what happens is, and I always wanted to work in a record shop just to mix. It was just live because what happened was, and I got a big up Magic as well. Magic Records, he's in Green Street because if he's watching this, he's gonna be like, Moonlight helped you a lot. So big up Magic.
Okay.
He was in Green Street and he was like the East London plug, so big him up.
Okay.
But what happened was when you, as you know, Longers, when you're in the record shop, the person behind's mixing the tracks, and you just had to put your hand up when you wanted it. And
That's it.
Man,
Yeah.
used to fling the tune.
That's it.
Man used
That's
to fling
it.
the tune.
Little slide across.
Little slide. Yeah. And then you had the VIP man them that had money. I was jealous of them because what they did, you know it. You know it. Them man, no, but them man, they had
You know what
elastic
they
band
want
around
already.
their whole rhythm.
Yeah.
Man just said, voila. And then I'm
Them
there.
days
And
are
then the way you used to take
Man
it.
said the VIP man then, but yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah, I know
walk
what you
straight
mean.
in.
Yeah.
They ain't got to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then more time when you ain't got money, you're holding two pieces of the rhythm. And you're like, shit,
Siding.
which one?
Dip.
Yeah. Or more time, you'd have to buy one and someone else would have to buy the other. And
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Them days.
Record
there, boy.
days were the good days.
And the worst part of it is because we are the young ones in the shop at the time. Like I was one of the
Exactly.
young ones,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not from the area as well.
Listen.
So they know who the man them who come in, the same VIP man that you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, who have everything already sitting there waiting for them.
100%.
We have to come in there and say, yeah, I want that, that, please, I want
What?
that, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then get
Yeah.
dealt with bad as well.
Yeah, literally.
No, but Don Angelo's a bully.
Yeah.
You got used to him after a while, but Don Angelo was a bully.
Why you want to hear that for? I said, can I hear that piece? Why you want to hear that for? That's just stuck in my head.
Oh, I wouldn't even have remembered his name if you didn't say it.
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
damn.
And it,
there was shops for like particular music, right?
Correct,
Like,
yeah,
if you wanted
yeah.
to get, just go talk on it if you can.
yeah, so do you want to?
Well, like you'd have to go shopping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're like how a woman goes clothes shopping and they go from one shop
Yeah.
to the next shop to the next shop to the next shop. That's how you'd have
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
pieces of the songs
Yeah.
that you want.
And you used to play R&B as well, innit?
Yeah.
Or did you?
I was originally a dancehall DJ.
Oh, was you? See,
Originally
I
a
didn't know
dancehall
that.
DJ. There was a circumstance that happened
Right.
where all of a sudden I became an R&B
Right,
DJ
right.
and played dancehall, but then it's like it was a shift.
What year did you start collecting? Did you have vinyl, R&B vinyl?
Yes.
Okay, so you
From
right,
early,
right,
do you know what I
okay,
mean?
cool.
But yeah, that if that incident didn't happen, I don't know. I'd have probably still been just a dancehall DJ
Right,
because
right,
coming
right.
up, there was like when I was growing up, I didn't even like anything but dancehall.
It's about dancehall music. Yeah,
Reggae
yeah, yeah.
music or is nothing for me.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And then I kind of slowly started getting into R&B and hip hop and everything like
The
that.
reason I mentioned it was because R&B records were almost 4 times the
Listen.
price
All right.
of 7 inches. Like you're talking £9 to £13 for one record.
Now, there were some exclusive shops that you could go to buy certain tunes were exclusives. Now, we had this conversation before, but
Right.
there were certain shops. Now, we spoke about the one that was in Seven Sisters Market. That was inside Seven Sisters Market, yeah. But the one place that I forgot to mention was Major Flavour in West End.
I don't
There was
know
a place
that
called
one.
Major Flavour in West End that they got shut down, and then after they got shut down, they moved from one place to the other, and then all of a sudden, I don't even know what happened to them. But that place, exclusive heaven.
Right.
Exclusive
right.
heaven.
Cold do any records?
Dark and Cold?
Yeah.
No, not as far as I can remember. Not as far as I can remember. No, because they had, what's it called, around the corner from the minute, Black Market.
Black Market.
Yeah.
And there's one kind of like the same road as Black Market.
The one on the same road, which is across the road, was Uptown Records. Yeah, Uptown Records were good. That was the one that
What would you not go there for?
mainly R&B and hip hop. There are 2 levels. You had the R&B hip hop level, and then the other side you had like a garage and that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that one time like they would chop and change which one is in at the time. So if hip hop and R&B is hot at the time, you go in. First thing you go in, hip hop and R&B is in the top floor, garage is downstairs, and then they end up changing it at one point and blah blah blah. But yeah, that was where Woody used to work as well.
Okay.
And you'd go in there, you see Woody, and for some reason he used to try to convince people that certain tunes were going to be big. Do you understand me? Yeah, you need this, man, you need this.
Was there like a in your R&B, because I don't know how it works. What area was that in? Like the shops you're mentioning, what areas were those in?
Early 2000s.
No, what area? Sorry,
West End.
West End. Yeah. So I think in my ends we was more like Barking. You had big white guy that was really known. and he had.
Remember the name?
Yeah, I definitely know you know him. But were they all written up on the board as well when you got there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's standard procedure.
But then you have certain exclusives which is not on the board.
Yeah. I think talk about exclusives. I think ones that come to mind is like you had the special edition records like the Dr. Dre green record. Did you have that?
What is in the
actual
green
record,
record is
yeah,
green.
see-through
Okay,
green.
those limited edition ones.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, but there was quite a few of them that I did get that were coloured. Like you have a blue record or a red record.
Chocolate
and blah,
Boy,
blah, blah.
Chocolate Boy was brown.
Yes, I remember the original Chocolate Boy actually. I remember the original Chocolate Boy.
Chocolate Boy was brown.
And do you know what? The funny thing is when Battle first came out, Wookie Battle, I was actually working for the company who was distributing it. So I actually heard it before it hit.
Right.
So
you've
and Get a Romance as well. They were distributing Get a Romance as well from Damage.
Okay.
I know you lot didn't do garage. You lot did Pure Groove, Planet Fat, and that was the ones that are around here. And this is more of a garage.
Do you know what the funny thing about it is? Like we didn't do garage per se, but then what we did is we called in our flipping sniper when it comes to garage, yeah? Scotty, what you doing, bruv? Yeah. Scotty B used to come and just kill out everything. So we were nice when it comes to garage. Don't play with us when it comes to garage.
Like an extended
Yeah. Little brother,
yes.
It's our little brother.
Yeah.
Little brother.
Yeah.
Little bro Scotty boy.
Yeah.
So we had that guy who was basically the assassin. If we want garage, we know that garage gonna be playing that night. We know that this dance is gonna get turned over in so many ways that it's just gonna be like, raw G Crew, yeah? Alright, cool. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sick, yeah, no.
So, yeah.
So about the transition then from DJ promoter to artist, talking about music.
Do you know what? It alright, so
hold on, before we got there, because we still ain't even got the members first. The members.
All right,
the members.
So we was on the members. So you had Smiley that launched it. Rocky Boss, he's a close family friend. So we kind of skipped a little bit. So Rocky used to DJ garage. Smiley used to DJ garage and jungle. So we had all the garage and jungle records as well. And Rocky had his own set of records. So we just collaborated where we was always at the same events all the time.
Okay.
So
that's kind of like how we started G Crew.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Right. So we all the Manor Park MCs used to come to Rocky's to make in Manor Park to make mixtapes and that. So we used to MC, and then after that, Face when I first met Face, he was in a venue in Ilford called Venue. It's called the Venue in Ilford. And I'm sure you know that one. Just used to be called the Island, I think.
Yeah. Jungle.
And then
Jungle Raves used to be.
Yeah. He was with a Somalian guy I know called Abdi from Manor Park. And
so what year was this? So Face.
Oh, you're
was
asking me, man.
Face was there from a long time
like
ago.
Longers. This had to be 2001.
And he still had the accent as well.
Oh, he just fresh came then.
Fresh.
Do you know how fresh he was, right?
Oh, how fresh was he?
I'll tell you how fresh he was. He still had, he still was putting, what they call it? Talcum powder on his chest to go to an English rate.
Man said talcum powder, you know.
So I knew
that's a Caribbean
I
thing.
knew he was a yard man.
Blatantly.
So Abdi introduced me to him, said, "Oh, Moonlyte, there's this guy called Face. He's from Jamaica." So he moved next door to Abdi on the same road. Okay. So he's introduced me, said, "Yeah, he wants a DJ over here." And then I started linking with Face, and I said, "Raw, this guy's a bad little DJ still, okay." Yeah. So obviously we're all in Manor Park. So we've all kind of linked up then. Yeah. So moving on, so far you've got myself, you've got Smiley, you've got Rocky Boss, and then you've got Face, he came a couple years after me, Smiley, and Rocky, came together. And then as for the artist stuff, it just was an extension to being like a garage MC, if that makes sense. So where I used to go on stage. You know, we used to play the Showtime rhythm. It was nothing. It was just like playing like one of the garage rhythms I'll spit to, but instead of it being garage, it was Showtime. So just used to drop, and you're just MCing and mixing it around, and do you get what I mean? And it just kind of went from there. The crowd were giving me singing along to some of my tracks, Papers and whatever like that. So we just had it kind of locked, and obviously the tracks were. It was at a time where there was hardly any artists. There was no social media.
Yeah, got that right.
So it was literally like, if you listened to my show, you knew my music. If you had one of my mix CDs, you knew my music. And it was really at that time within that age demographic. It was just really Cold as Ice, and then I would say you'd had maybe like a Dark Side, and then who else was there? Shotter Crew.
Yes.
But they were more hip hop and R&B. That was Rayman and FX.
Yeah.
FX, yeah.
And
But they're from North though.
yeah, they're from North. Yeah, but I'm saying around who were playing at the same sort of events.
Okay.
Yeah, because they was on Deja with you.
DJs like that as well.
Who's that?
Venom Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that time?
Venom
That was
Crew.
garage. That was garage. So
That
that
was
was
garage,
what year was that? That's 2001 maybe.
Yeah, probably.
It's mad because
2001.
we got love.
About DTL, were they around that time or did they came way later?
They came a good 5, 6 years, 7,
Okay.
8 years
It
after.
was Wrecking Crew them days, isn't it?
Who's that? Sorry.
Brown and them.
See, I
Yes.
didn't actually know Branning's. So Dagz is known and Longers is known Branning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're the same age group as well, aren't you?
Cooley and
Yeah.
Browning,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Wrecking Crew.
Cooley and
Yeah.
Browning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware.
Cooley, Browning and Flash.
Yes, I wasn't. I wasn't
remember Flash.
around.
Mm.
Dagz Browning came. So I didn't even mention Browning just yet because he came quite a
later.
bit after.
Mm.
Good 10 years after. So.
Because that's more when I knew Cold as Ice.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Remember.
Because I didn't know that Rocky was a part of Cold as Ice until he told me recently.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You understand what I mean? I
That's
didn't know
crazy.
Rocky was a part
And
of
it's
Cold
mad
as Ice.
because some people don't even know that
Rocky Boss.
don't even know Branning's a part of Cold as Ice. So it's mad. It's
That transition is a bit crazy.
And what?
I remember
Yeah.
Browning booking you though when I used to work
That's
with
right.
For like with I used to work with him in graduation. Do you
That's
remember
right.
graduation?
That's probably one of the first times. So I'll give you that story. I'll give you that story because that's an interesting story. So you know what happened? We weren't actually booked for that event. So this is how I met Branning, right? There was an event. You probably know it better than me. And Branning was wearing a mask. It was at Palace Pavilion. Do you know what?
Dilemma.
It was that way. It was Dynamacy. I knew you would know it. Yeah. Yeah. So I've gone there because that's Palace Pavilion's my place.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, because by then we've done enough events and I knew this event was going to be rammed. So I'm like, I need to touch Mike here. So I want, obviously security know me, Ken knows me. So I've gone there. Brandon don't know me. So I've gone, I'm coaching on the stage now. And the DJ must have come on who I've known. I'm like, run the Showtime rhythm. And then Brandon's kind of gone to stop me, like to say, like,
We go.
like we again.
That's some
I said,
security
bro,
business. Yeah.
just cool. Like, I got this. Yeah.
This is my spot. This is my place.
Showtime with him. I touched the mic and it done the place. And then from then, Brandon said, yeah. And then that's when we started getting booking.
Okay,
That's how we used to move.
It's
And you know
crazy, isn't it?
Cold as ice jackets in that area.
Oh, so you
That's what I'm
remember.
saying.
And it's mad because we got love like from early, like in every part of London. So if I was to go through it, West London, I know like Viper G, Gussie, what are they called again? What's the name? Silver Star.
Yeah.
So you had Bud, you had DJ Village, rest in peace. You had what's his name? Robbo Ranks.
Yeah.
Them times he was Music Street with Hottie Johnny.
Oh, yeah, them
Then you
days,
had them lot used to run. So every Wednesday we used to go to Uptown Splurt, which was in Cameos. That was before I used to do my own events in Cameos.
Yeah.
So we was literally little pickney. Me and Rocky took the 25 bus from my house because it went to the top of my road. We used to go there and just see Mataran and see them. And I said, I want that.
Bruv, you sound like me. I had to take the 29 to go down to West End.
We all did. We all did.
Yeah.
Dax was like,
Once
yo,
upon a time.
we're going flying tonight. Cool. Certain time of night. My backpack on my
Yeah,
back.
see?
29 bus.
See? Straight.
Was convenient like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just in the
All
center.
the way.
innit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of love in like I remember we played in like Zenith and them times Quincy when Quincy was around. So we got a lot of those bookings as well in
Okay.
Acton Town Hall and those. In South you had who was it? I'm not sure if it was actually Suey. I know he was around. No, you know who it was? South meets East and them dances there. You remember them dances? And then so the Brink before you guys had it, we went there and it was like
When it used to be called Lagunda.
I think so, yeah. Oh, I remember that was a dangerous club back
It
then.
always was dangerous.
And remember, I'm coming from East, but them times there, I'm nothing like how I am now. I didn't give a shit. Yeah, I literally didn't give. I didn't care. Like it didn't even bother me now. But exactly. But
Man's got a conscience now. Yeah.
I'll never forget there was a time where it was Dizzy Rascal, Wiley. Obviously we're from East, innit? So we're all kind of in Brink coaching in our own corner. And I remember like it's kicked off, and when it's kicked off in No, you know what? It wasn't the Brink. It was the club next to the Brink. What's that called? There was a club right next to the Brink, man.
Calling Dixie Galflex. Comments.
No, it was literally right next to
the Brink.
Yeah.
It rings a bell.
There was one, but I can't remember.
Yeah, and you walk downstairs, and and I don't know if you remember Fire, DJ Fire from South. Yeah, he was.
Plays boy.
Right. Yes. So Play, I swear, Play was there. Play and Fire as well. And anyhow, and it's kicked off. And then I've never I'm from East, so we see some crazy stuff. But these South guys, the police came, and me and Rocky were like, boom, right, police are here now. We're outside. They're gonna stop. Nope. They ran away. The police. They jumped on the police car. They drove our way in the police car. I was like, yeah. I remember Wiley literally saying, "Get me the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck out of here."
The funny thing about it is, right, when you check it out, they probably thought that the North man them were crazy or the East man, because it's similar to what was going on outside in flipping Murder Mile. You know what I'm talking about when I said Murder Mile in flipping Clapton, outside Chimes and all them places there. But then, if you remember back in the day of Tim Westwood over at Tottenham. Temple.
The Zone.
Temple days. Now, people were doing stuff over there while the police is just across the road. The police station is just across the road. They didn't care. They didn't care. Things were kicking off over there. People were getting robbed over there. Shops were getting, remember the bagel shop that was over there and everything? They didn't care. So us not going to a next area, real cool, that man, these guys are mad, blah, blah, blah. They come to our area, they probably say the same thing. So it's just that whole domino effect of not being a part of the area.
No doubt. So we had, that was in South, we was doing all those events. And then in North, you had, what's his name? But on Turnpike Lane and those sides, you had
talking about a club.
Yeah, there was quite a few clubs, but there were more banqueting suites in North. It wasn't so much
Green Lanes you're talking about.
Green Lanes. Sorry, Green Lanes.
There was one next to the snooker hall.
Yeah.
So say again, sorry.
That's it.
Those sort of ones.
This guy in his memory.
And I remember then. So then you had Skepta, Jamie, and Jamie. You used to drop them bars with a serious. Don't say serious. I say serious. And so that was us in. So from Deja, because we were the hot dancehall DJs, we used to just get love everywhere. And
because they're hearing you on the radio as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So we.
No, but what it is more that he made the links in the different areas to
That's
different people who were from there. And that was the smartest thing. You know what I mean? With us lot, it was more of a case of us being linked to certain people, but then we kind of more waited for it to come to us rather than we go to the you did it the right way.
Was you lot on any stations, G Crew?
Station, innit? Station FM.
Yeah, Station FM.
Long as was Juice FM.
I did Juice FM up in West London. That was my first station. Then I went over to Station, and then I did my last station that I was on was what's Natty station called again?
No, Extreme.
Yeah.
I done Deja.
And do you know what?
I done Deja. I used to do on Monday, 8 to 10. So I started with Maidan.
Yeah.
So me and Maidan.
My
first.
Facebook compadre.
And then I brought in Mr. White.
Yes, I do remember. And then when did Slick come? Was he on Deja as well? That was years ago. Okay. No, I remember that. It's crazy.
It's good though. We're talking about it. It brings back.
There's a few
memories.
things as well. When I was on Deja, right, it was literally a crime to go on another station. People don't even know that, because I was just hungry. I wanted to go everywhere, and I remember I used to sneak onto other stations like Mystic at the time. It was Guy of a D.
But they had a bit of a rivalry though.
I was just fuck it, wherever the music's going. And I remember I used to go there, but I used to and then you used to shit yourself after you finished because you knew you was gonna get a call.
The phone calls,
the phone. You know what I mean? And then I used to, what are you doing on that station? I was like, because you were allowed a guest slot, but they just wanted to check that you ain't jump ship and stuff like that. It was.
So who was the boss at the time of you, Deja? Was it Sting?
Sting.
Or
It's
was
always
it
been Sting.
Yeah.
Always Sting.
Madman.
Yeah.
Mad
Sting,
man.
Stings.
In that meeting,
Okay. See, people don't know about the Deja meetings.
Hot you up.
Yeah.
But me and him was good. We got the same birthday, 3rd of July.
Yeah.
We got Sting, so we always got on. But boy, he hotted people up, man.
That was in EQ, right?
EQ,
Yeah. So, and what people don't realize is when you was on radio back then, as you and Longs both know, it's not like anything in the last 10, 15 years, I would say, or 10 years. You were getting, like, per tune. Remember, there's no Instagram, no Facebook. You're getting 100 missed calls from different numbers. You know what I mean? You're getting proper interaction.
Yeah.
You're getting people buying tickets from your show.
Yeah.
It's like you're probably broadcasting to no word of a lie of average of like 10,000 people.
The way of selling yourself in them days was on a different level.
That's right.
Majorly.
That's
They
right.
had more power than the mainstream. That's why they had to
Yes.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
the realness,
That's
you know?
right. You did.
Okay, control of it. That's why they wanted everybody cut off so eagerly. Do you understand what I mean? They wanted all the pirate stations cut off.
I'll give you a joke, as you mentioned, the mainstream, because I was wild back then. I always wanted this to clash everyone on the mainstream, whether it be Trevor Nelson and thing. And I used to like try and get on the bookings to like throw words on them and just want them to come, because I knew they didn't, the guys, and I'll say it openly, they didn't have nothing on the pirate guys. And I don't think it's their fault. I just think they weren't able to mix and stuff like that. They were just hosting, but we were
but you see, that was our fault, because these guys were never DJs. These guys
that's true.
are just simple broadcasters.
That's true.
They're hosts. They're presenters. That's one word I'm looking for.
That's true.
And like, I remember when Kojo first went onto Choice FM, and a lot of people were like, "Hold on a second, he's not even a DJ. Why is he up on Choice FM and blah 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 blah?" And people didn't stop to think to yourself, "Hold on a second, he's not going on there to DJ. He's going on there to present a show," which is a big difference. Do you know what I mean? So you've got your DJs and you've got your presenters. And that's basically the biggest difference.
And I just want,
feel like because it's called DJs, but it's a dream for them.
Yeah.
And they feel like that wasn't his dream.
No, yes, good point.
You know what
Good
I mean?
point. But you see, the thing is, the pirate stations were DJ led. Mainstream stations were presenter led.
100%.
So when you've got the most important shows, the drive time show, the breakfast show, those 9 times out of 10 round them days were always they were always presenters who actually put them together rather than
Remember,
being DJs.
we've said this from before on one of our podcasts, saying that we worked for it. So we was
literally
consistent.
Literally.
We was in the dances.
Literally.
And what's our thing? To bust up the dance.
Literally.
And
Literally.
do it like easily as well. Not even
Literally.
bragging, not
Literally.
even smiling, but it's
Literally.
normal.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Them now, it's been handed to
Literally.
them. So it's a big difference.
You lot, I'm not saying that like no one's still here, but that's why you lot will always hold your position and rise.
Yeah.
Rather than someone just being able to put it
Do you know what?
Listen, even Steve, twice as nice. I went up to him a couple times and I said to him, "Steve, like, why is it you always got me after these guys? Yeah, they've got a bigger name than me, but they're not gonna do what I do." He goes, "Because I know you can bring it back." And I'm like,
so you're the saver.
to form.
I'm just like,
You're the saver.
He's got a point, though.
He's
got a point, though.
You're a saver. It's
but it doesn't make you feel good that, like, all right, cool, prime time, this person is on, and we started off good. Do you understand what I mean? But then next thing you know, there's like people just walking off to the next room and blah blah blah. Longers, when you coming on? Yeah, I'm on next, or I'm on last, or blah blah blah. Some of those people leave simply for the fact of, all right, cool, this is not what I want to be right
just
now.
how it goes.
Blah, blah, blah.
How many times you booked a big name brand and you know they're
up until
they
the
got
other day.
nothing.
Up until the other day.
You've called me certain times and asked for certain numbers.
Yeah. And I know. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. So.
And then, funny enough, the same set of crew. Like they'll be playing at our dance, and then there's people that's come to see them.
Yeah. That's
They
true.
said, when's blah 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 playing? I'm saying they're on now.
Yeah.
They're like, what? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Dead.
It's funny you mention it. Do you know what? It's like anything, I think. You know, even films.
And I'll just a disclaimer on that. Just a disclaimer on that. If anybody is sitting at home and they're vexed with what was said, right? then it's probably you. You were probably the DJ.
Mate,
Yeah,
that's right. You know,
Moonlyte said it was up to the other day that he phoned him.
No English, no comprende, no
no,
understanding.
you know what? No one ever thinks it's them, so we're good. No one ever thinks they're the bad DJ.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, they're good. They're good.
Like,
They're good.
You know how it goes. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like anything. Films back in the day, films you can watch up until now.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Because the producers and directors came from a certain school. They studied it like we did as DJs.
Yeah.
So their films are still worthy to watch now.
Still relevant.
Whereas then you got certain Dashway films, and it goes the same with music. How much music back in the day you listen to now,
Classic.
still
Solid.
playing now.
Solid.
But how much music's made by nowadays producers is throwaway. And I'm not like kind of criticizing them, so to speak, but there's a reason why that is.
Yeah.
And fundamentals play a lot in anything. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I just think that's it.
Talking about music and films, how did you go from Dagz's question? Like, how did you, what made you progress into films and media?
Okay, so what got me into films?
You're just that guy though, ain't it? Like
Hungry, man.
Huh?
Like
Hunger.
everything you see, like
All right, I'll tell you what it is,
Did you
yeah.
start with music or the films?
And I'll start with music first.
So let's start there then. So let's start from your progression
From DJ to
host.
DJing to
so I started making remixes. Face used to play the rhythms, and I used to spit on them. And then other DJs around was like, "Oh, bruv, can I get a dub plate of that? Can I get that and that?" And I was like, "Raw, okay." Showtime rhythm. And Face used to mix in like acapellas of like a shanty, and then we used to let her bit play, which everyone knew, and then my bit used to drop. And then I had a bit on the bars rhythm, and then it started to get popular. People were like, "Can I get?"
Yeah.
I
So,
remember like you used to do the Freaky Friday CDs as well.
I know what's mad. Our CDs up to now, I get guys, big gangsters who hit me up, bruv. You know what? I was making love to my girl, and I heard this CD was mixed by Moonlyte, bruv. I don't want to hear that. Do you know what I mean? Like, bruv, the CDs were crazy as long as we tell you. But yeah, the transition from DJ to musician. Again, I started spitting on known rhythms and stuff like that, and then Deluxe. That was it. I was Deluxe from Deja Vu. Deluxe.
Yeah.
He had a studio. It's probably still got it. It's in Limehouse. So obviously we didn't have studio money then, so we used to go there, and he did like a he still does it today. It's like a community led studio. So he used to produce. He produced my first track, which was called Papers, and then with Papers now, because again we was on Deja and that, it got a lot of traction. You know, at the time the track was good. Now, but yeah, at the time the track was good. So I went to, you're gonna know this place, rest in peace him as well, but we went down to Music House, Leon. Just past
rest in
peace,
Leon.
yeah. So I went down there, and then I cut that on dub plate, and I'm pretty certain he cut my did he used to cut 45s there? He did, innit?
They used to do
they used to
10
order
inch and 45s.
Yeah, so he done a box of 45s for me. So then me and my boy CJ, big up CJ, he had his girl's car at the time, big up, I wasn't gonna say his girl's name actually, but yeah, and then he just literally drove around everywhere, just distributing these. But we had them in record shops as well.
Wicked.
And that's literally how I got in there. And then
Always been about the hustle, innit? Always been about the hustle.
The story, if I'm honest with you, the stories are mad. I don't want to. Like we need like four parts,
yeah.
because we've jumped past. You know, we talk about this another time, but
No, talk about it, man.
there was a big part of my DJing was that we were part of the Jamaican scene in so where I would say you guys, because you guys didn't really touch the yard scene.
We didn't.
Yeah, but we were in the yard scene, cold as ice. And then so we started off with that you remember Geneva's Hackney every Wednesday.
Yes.
And then you had Buds, Clapton,
Yes.
one way in, one out. Listen,
Opposite the petrol station.
and them times there, Gangster Kid, it was us, Gangster Kid,
The Fusion
with Cancer,
Yeah.
and then you had Archangel just flew. This time Archangel didn't even know about Ian and them. Them time Professor Ian was with Aquarius and them man there, and we were in this little box in Hackney every Wednesday for a year. And imagine the training you're getting, Sharpness playing with them Yardman record, So you're just battling a year. So we're in the yard scene, then we're on Deja in the English scene.
The Swan as well.
Say that again?
Swan.
The Swan.
Yeah.
The Swan.
Swan.
That's Tottenham, right?
Philip,
Yeah.
You lot did Swan, by the way.
Yeah.
That's flipping Domino's Pizza now, mate.
So we did a lot of that. So reason I mentioned that is because that's got a big influence with my music as well and the way I DJ. So we had the English scene, then we had the proper hardcore yard scene. So when I fused them together, it was hard for a lot of DJs to.
You're one of the only crews that did that.
Yeah. I feel so.
Yeah.
And even to today, you know, there's not many DJs that can play in
Both sides.
Comfortably.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that benefited.
I used to hate playing after you lot. I'm not gonna lie. I used to hate it.
Yeah, no, yeah. We and the thing is, what people don't know, me, Face, and Rocky on occasions, we practiced our sets. We practiced it every day after school. I would go to Face's a little bit, couple years older than me, and we used to practice for hours and hours and hours every single day.
Sound practice.
Yeah. I used to. Yeah.
We did that.
So that's why when we're gelling on set, and it's natural because we've put in the hours and hours of
so
work.
the natural chemistry is gonna just flow. It's gonna be there.
Listen, I used to have people say regular, and I know you have heard it too. People say, "Oh my word, how is it Dagz knows what's coming in next?" And blah. And it's just simple that you kind of just get to know each other to a point where you just kind of have that synergy.
Yeah. So then, that was a big part, and then obviously you've got Up to Manor days, you've got Freaky Friday days. You've got
talk about.
I don't know.
You're talking about Ups and Man. I'll talk about Blusky. I remember one day Moonlights rang me for
I didn't ring you, bro. You
rang me. You always ring me.
So I that's what I'm saying. You're just bringing up so much.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
Well, you want me to tell the story, or you want to
tell the story?
So I used to run a internet radio station. I had an office in Vauxhall, right?
Yes, that's right.
Cool.
Yep.
My internet radio station is called Ice Waves, and I had because at the time we was like one of the only. It was a full roster, and what I did, I hired an office, but the issue was that it was office. Everyone else was working normally, so we couldn't really open during the days, and if we did, it was quiet. So I kicked it out with the equipment I could afford, nothing too high tech, and then I had a studio there as well, so it's in Vauxhall, and you know it felt good because we had the room was tiny, do you know what I mean? But it was our thing. So we had a studio. Then I get a call from Dagz, because where was that event? Torts. It was Torts.
Yeah.
And you had the connection.
And
you had the connection for Torts, wasn't it? Or both of us.
It could have been Browning, you know. Actually, it could have been Browning.
He weren't involved with that event, I don't think.
No, but we're talking about connection in terms of.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Him.
So Dagz called me now. It's like, Moonlight, I want to make a track for, and I know you do music for this event, Blusky. So I'm like, what do you mean? And Dagz is like, come man, it's this. All right, cool. So Dagz comes to the studio. Buju was there as well. Yeah, Buju had a big part in the track, and them man made a track called Blusky. I won't. I
wonder where it is now. I wonder where that is now,
bruv. Hopefully on the grand, bruv.
On a tape. Wait, somewhere.
I'm not on that track.
On a cassette tape somewhere.
I don't remember anything I said. I just remember your point.
It was called Too Much.
I remember Too Much.
It was called Too Much.
It was you.
And it wasn't at Torts. I was letting you talk, but it wasn't at Torts.
Oh, where was it then?
Twilights.
Flipping it.
Twilights.
Canning Town. Do you know what? Dagz is responsible for bringing me to some of these death traps.
It's your ends, bro.
No, but I didn't know Twilights before you introduced it. No.
Okay.
Up to now, all I remember there was one black dread woman.
Yeah. One way in, one way out.
And they used to give you the small bar to sell your drinks. And I remember you did. Was it me and you that did that event? Yeah.
December.
We had a madness on the roof of Twilights one time.
See?
Twilights is mad.
And some guys, some tall big guy came out.
See?
It was crazy.
No, but you know what? The thing about
I was there too. Jesus Christ. See? Bro.
The thing about people loved about Twilights is parties, and everybody loved raving in the city. But 3 o'clock is no good to anybody. Right. So everybody love a rave that will go until 7, 8, 9
and we knew it was dangerous. We knew full well it's one way in, one way out. But we're going until 6, 7. We're drinking brandy till whatever time of the morning.
Do you know Do you know what? Sneaky was there that day, you know? Because Sneaky had the money. I gave Sneaky the money from the door. Sneaky will remember. And you know, I didn't get my car back till 3 days later. The police had cordoned off. So I had to... I don't know how I got back.
Yeah, something.
So that was your fault, Dagz.
All I know is I had gone by then.
For Grizzly, because I know Grizzly did a couple of dances.
No, Grizzly, back in the day, listen, Grizzly was... We were tight as well, so he had DTO and Grizzly came around.
Big up Grizzly.
Yeah, he put in a lot of work with me. Me and Grizzly went and did boards together. So yeah, he supported the thing 100% from the.
Do you remember boards? Talking about boards, do you remember you making a board out of a Nike box?
Jesus Christ.
Nike shoebox. This guy, that's why I rate this guy. That's why I had to call him in, because the guy just does what
Made
he's
a
got
board
to
out of a
do.
Nike shoebox.
Do you know what it was?
Yeah.
If we can't afford the big ones like back to 95, what? That means what? We're not going to print boards.
I called Dagz now and I'm like,
Oh, you called me this time, yeah?
I've called Dagz and I said, how much of those posters you man do? Dagz says they're not that expensive. They're like £500, innit? So them times there when Dagz was in his millions, I couldn't afford them. So all I did was I just went, and my boy used to work in one of them trainer shops.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, I need boxes, man. I need boxes. And you know what's messed up, yeah? Do you know what's messed up? Is that there's two things that's...
I rate you, you know, so highly. I rate you because he did it. No, forget
No, there's two things.
I would drove past. I've driven past in my Alfa Romeo. I remember, and I saw a Blusky with
My handwriting.
a blue barrel pen, 3D, saying Blusky. Bro, I'll give it to you. Hats off.
Do you know what's messed up?
Hats off, bro.
I called Dagz. I said, Dagz, how do you put up these posters, yeah?
With the ties.
Dagz said, Moonlyte, you got to get these tires, yeah? So I got shoestrings.
You got a shoestring.
I got shoestrings.
You're a killer.
I said, and I was calling Dagz, but I said, Dagz, so how'd you get the holes in them? He said, bruv, you need a drill. So I got a drill and I didn't know. I got in mad trouble. I didn't know that you was meant to put something underneath it. So I've drilled a hole through my mum's floor.
Oh shit.
Like 4 holes and shit. Oh, bro. And you know the wickedest thing about it? At the time when you're looking at the board or the shoebox, yeah, it looks huge. But when you put it on the traffic light, it looks like you put up a business card. So all my effort, but I was glad Dagz noticed it and called me, so.
Yeah.
Nah, really.
10
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
You need a size 18 shoebox.
Yeah, it's like,
Mate, yeah, Dagz, that's when you must have thought I was ghetto, man.
And then from that, you've gone to an artist. You've gone to a director. Talk about your director story. What made you start that?
The directing probably was because the music videos I wanted to shoot at the time. No, that's a lie, because I had a good. At the time, I was managed by. I was being managed by someone called Juice Black.
I remember you saying that,
He's doing some really big films now, Urban XL. So big him up.
Big up.
But he was really creative, to be fair. I think it was just curiosity to. I don't like waiting on people. And Juice Black, he will tell you that he took forever to make music videos.
You started doing Players and Players in Miami, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Big here.
Yeah. Then I went to Miami. Yeah.
Players and
So
Players.
I even forgot that. So
You
you
have to talk about Players and Players.
Players and Players. All right. So Freaky Fridays we started in Club Rose.
Okay.
All right. Big up Manny, because he owned Club Rose. He owned Stratford Rex as well, and he owned loads of other stuff. But we started off there. It was in
Club
Bow.
Rose again?
Bow, just by the flyover, by the Tesco.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a little warehouse. But we were rammed.
Longers didn't go to them kind of spots there. You know?
No, that was
West End DJ. That we ain't been to them.
these ones there. One way
one
in.
man up and 2 man up,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
link
yeah,
everyone in there.
People like their
Yeah,
safety.
do
It's
that.
all right.
Yeah,
People like
yeah.
their safety. It's all right. It's all
No,
right.
those times there, as I said, I didn't care. So we had East on Smash, and I say this openly. And if anyone wants to leave a comment, for our era, there was no one that had East on Smash like Cold as Ice.
No,
way.
And if I'm wrong,
No, hands up, hands up.
Even just East.
Correct, isn't it?
huh?
Not even just
But
East.
yeah. But I meant as in, because with Freaky Fridays, we had it ram consistently
Yeah.
for 3 to 4 years.
With people from all over.
Oh right, yeah,
You
100%,
can say-
100%.
if
No,
you
you're
look at that
right.
venue,
You're right.
You remember I was there, so
Yes, yeah. You know, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you was there. No, you're right.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you lot had it on lock.
So that was mad, and then we moved to Players Club, and it just we just had all artists that were flying in wanted to come Freaky Friday. So we had Spragga Benz turning up, and we had even Keisha White when her track was big, and then we had all American artists. Shaggy was there, and Tony Matteran, and so we're killing it. Every week, you know, good money's making.
Financially, I was just about to say that. Just about to say that. Financially,
good money's making, and then but then when we moved to Stratford Rex, it then the vibe start for me. I wanted to progress past it, if that makes sense. Past like, so what was happening was there was a lot of trouble, incidences, stabbings, and at that time it was like, you know what, this is getting long. I remember a time where like literally all these men just burst through every door and just it was just and then and it's
gold lights.
gunshot in there, and you got man in there getting chop up and DDT'd and headbutted and all them
Group fights.
yeah.
Went off.
So I was just like, you know what, I can't be around this too
People
much.
still loved it though. That's what was weird about Freaky Friday.
that's what I said. People,
It still go.
The day
Even
No,
like-
It was
it's still Freaky Friday. It was so convenient.
So I've stepped away.
That was Ghetto Rage though, man.
Yeah,
Chimes was like that
you
too.
can smoke in there, and you can. They still think that the drinks was for £25. You're getting.
It was mad. It
was what it was. It said, you know, does what it said on the tin. Like it is what it is.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
A Freaky Friday. It was mad.
A lot of men weren't even going. They were just pulling up outside at 5.
To
see what's going on.
Yeah. That was it.
So that was
It
that was it.
It was literally that. So I've stepped away quite close to the beginning after doing 3-4 years of it. Stepped away, and I was like, you know, I want to do something a bit more in my lane, in my zone, a bit more. Yeah, I don't want to say like prestigious or anything like that. That sounds like I'm putting it down, but just something that. If I was inviting, say, like international artists, then they don't have to worry about getting shot. Do you know what I mean? Or getting, you know,
Robbed.
Robbed. Yeah, robbed is the word. So,
Is that when you start using Silks and Spice and then?
no, so that's another area, but I'm definitely not gonna jump into there. I'll be here all day. But I went to E3, which is in Bow, next to the station, Myland, next to Myland Station, Purple E3.
Yeah.
And at the time, just I said, it's crazy. At the time, as I've walked to the gate, the new owner, who's a black lady, has just walked in, and I've said to her, "Excuse me," because you know I didn't know she was the main lady. I said, you know, who do I speak to about booking it? She's like, "Oh, it's my club. Come in." So she's invited me into the office. This is the first time. This was by chance, and I've told her what I've done. Like, you know, Freaky Friday. Well, I didn't so much say Freaky Friday, but I could say I. And then she gave me one chance. I was like the only. Urban. Do you know what I'm thinking? If that was before, before Flex, Rose? Which one was first?
Flex in Romford.
Flex was before Rose. Jesus Christ! So I missed the whole of Flex. Forget Flex then.
Yeah.
But I've gone there and literally like with the first event we've had 1,000 people. And then every month consistently 900, 1,200, 900, 1,200. So from there I've then gone to Miami, which I was going to frequently at the time. I've booked a place called the Fifth Club, which is on Fifth Avenue, close to the beach. And then I've gone there, and I booked it on Memorial Thursday. Wait, Longers, was you there? Because me and Longers been in Miami.
I went out there one year with you.
Yeah, me and Longers been in
Oh, yeah, I
Miami.
remember.
That was the day that like I was stunned at the drinks prices. Do you know what I mean? Moonlyte came to me and goes, "Longers, give me like $250. I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. One bottle of, I think it was like Moet.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah,
so hold on, $500 for that one bottle.
Those were the days, man.
You know when you're what we could say, balling by accident. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Accidental balling. You know what I mean? You think like, yeah, I got some money on me right about.
That's crazy.
And how many cups you got at? Because you don't drink, so.
Oh, you didn't even drink?
No, you don't
I think
drink.
you drunk at the time.
I drank
Must
probably
have
one.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
one.
definitely.
But
Definitely.
Yeah, it was the whole facade, I guess, at that time. But yeah, so gone there, spoken to the manager now. he's obviously charging me some mad rate because he knows I'm not from town. $8,000 exactly is what he charged me. Actually, I remember. And then
what was that for?
$8,000 was the club hire.
The club hire. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But their prices when it comes to like entry and all that stuff is very, very different. That's out here.
Yeah.
$50 is like the minimum kind of thing.
So then I've booked Buffy the Body. I don't know if you remember who that is.
Yeah, of course we remember
I booked Bobby Valentino. He was big at the time before he had his scandals.
No, he was cold.
Yeah, he just had that In Those not In Those Jeans. Was his track called, his first one? Slow Down. So yeah, that's right. And then so we booked him, got the club there. We booked like Escalades, we booked models, TV company going around the beach. And we just had the event. The event went decent. I lost probably about, well, you say lost, but I invested. I call it investment. I didn't make back the money, but the connections and links lasted forever.
That's right.
Yeah, it's mad.
I remember you saying where you used to come to the club and have to queue up. Now you're walking straight to the front.
Yeah. So all that, the manager, yeah. So literally
play the game.
Yeah, literally was that, and so that's how.
I do remember queuing up.
Yeah.
I do remember queuing up.
Yeah. It's not though, because the thing about Miami, it's all about they're so good at what they do. They would have a long queue in order to make the people with money want to pay to skip the queue.
Yes.
And to come in, and then it just gives it the whole kind of persona that this is the place to be. So they'll hold the queue forever, and they'll make sure all their VIP guests come in. So if you're a nobody, which I was when it was the first time I went to Miami, but luckily Sutton just told me I gave the bouncer like a couple $100, just let me went through. So then when the bouncer knew, but I was paying to get in, which is kind of like still a chiefy thing to do, innit? Yeah. But yeah, so Miami was crazy because at that time you got, in any given rave, you got Chris Brown, you got 50 Cent, you got,
yes, they're all holding their own parties.
Yeah, you got Floyd Mayweather shutting it down. It's hot. It's Miami hot.
Did your time in Miami influence Call Me?
Wow. Call Me.
Good question.
Probably. Call Me was crazy, you know.
Because I feel like that's around those times when I saw that. I didn't know anything before that, but that's the challenge.
All right, so let me give you stories. Not stories. Let me tell you the truth. So my producer is now, well, it's not now. He's Steph London's producer. Rhymes, yeah. So he produces. He's produced most tracks. I could go through a lot.
Most of our hit tracks. He produced.
And he's produced for like most of the Afrobeat artists as well, Wizkid and all of them. So at the time he was from Southend, so he used to come to mine when I was based in Romford, and we just used to make track after track after track after track. But in like Southend and those areas, you had a whole scene that was like unknown. There was a guy called Kaz, and he was a sick singer, and he must have sent me like an idea, like, so it was like it had the kind of melodies of Call Me. Me and Ryan's fixed it up, and then it was just Call Me came. I remember I just said I always wanted to be different from everyone else. So who was making music? I think Tincha Strider was making music, but it was like literally their music at the time was poppy with a load of kind of like white chicks.
But they were all signed to major labels, right? So they had to compromise at that time.
But I wanted the American style.
That's why I asked you if Miami influenced it.
It did. So we flew. You're right. I see where you're coming there. Yeah, you know, definitely.
Videos wise, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember when he went to Miami. I remember when he said, "Well, I'm going to do the rave in Miami, players and players." He said, and then not long after that. Like, a year, 2 years.
It's mad, you know. And then I've flown out Juice, the models, the production team. We've gone out to Puerto Rico and shot the music video for Call Me. Come back. Just even posted it on Facebook. They weren't at that time. It's so hard for people to imagine, but imagine like your video is like one of the only videos on social media, if that makes sense. So the way it just got like 100,000
artists,
with that sort of quality, you know, we always wanted to do things a bit better, different in our eyes, anyway. Do you know what I mean? A bit more American, not better, a bit different, as you said, And then that's how Call Me came along, and it just took off. And I was doing PAs. I went to we done a European tour, Denmark. Shout out to David J. We did France. I that's when I met Trey Songz as well, because I was performing with how I met Trey Songz was someone booked me to perform with him in the O2 Arena, and then I opened up for him, and I knew that no matter what happened, Trey Songz is gonna take the show. So I knew that my music alone won't be bigger than Trey's. So I needed something to like cause a buzz. So what I did was, I remember I flew to Turkey with Taz, big up Taz, and then I must have bought like bare designer,
that's what I was gonna
type
ask you
stuff. Yeah. And literally, and then we had all these models and stuff. And then
do you remember the year? When was that?
That was like 2000 and what year was that? 2005.
About 5.
So and then so we've given them out to the crowd now, and it's literally like it's caused pandemonium. And it was mad because then Trey Songz's managers hit me up, which was Kevin Lyles at the time, and he's like, do you want to do the rest of these shows, the rest of the tour? So the rest of the tour, funny enough, was in Barbados and Bahamas, and I've gone, of course, you know what I mean? So we've flown to Barbados, but that's where my mum's side of the family's from, so it's like quite cool. And then when I'm doing the radio interviews, even though at the show I've spent my own money in London, I spent my own money to buy that, the first thing the guy said is, I heard you gave away some bags you gave away. That was crazy. So it's like it was a good investment is what I'm trying to say. And then so and from there the rest is kind of history, do you know what I mean, music wise. It was a good run, still making music now, but it just is what it is.
So what are you doing? Is it for fun? Is it for the memories? Is it for
what's that now?
Music, is it?
It's a passion. It's a passion. So it's something that I enjoy doing. It's a way, especially throughout lockdown, to, if I'm honest with you, the music, the state of music right now doesn't really appeal to me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not really enjoying much music, whether it be dancehall, whether it be R&B,
whether it be drill,
So it's not really encouraging me to like want to be, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. It's like I have to be in my own zone and make my own style of music, if that makes sense.
So let's skip forward. Acting. Oh God. Acting. Do you know what? It's all kind of interlinked, because a lot of my music videos were, we used to act in the music videos. 1,000%.
So it then kind of stemmed from there. I was like, I enjoy this acting thing. Do you know what I mean? So then acting, I don't know what my first gig was. I think as an actor, I got, I couldn't really tell you. It's just all so intertwined. It's hard to like define which was the part, but I know that some of the highlights is I got a manager for acting.
Agent. An agent.
No, he's a manager.
Oh, okay.
He's a manager. Yeah, he's a manager. And so that particular, her name was Lauren Hill.
Okay.
Kind of like the artist. Yeah. And it's quite funny.
Spelled the same as well.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because Lauren Hill's got a R-Y.
Yeah.
And this was the English. She's a white lady.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then she's booked me the Hollyoaks acting teacher. So the main acting teacher for Hollyoaks. Okay. She's booked one-on-one sessions with me for her to sort out all my bad habits in acting and stuff like that. And then from there, I got a booking. Again through the manager for a film that's on Sky now. It's called Hooligan Gangster. And then I got a Bollywood feature, which they flew us out to Spain to shoot that. And then it's just like...
Oh, you say Bollywood, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the moves like?
Bruv, they're hardcore Bollywood. Anyone who's acted knows what I mean.
So hold on, did you actually have to do any of the...
No.
Yeah, you sure?
No, you know what's mad?
I want to see the movie now, you know.
No. They would never have that, but that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I do that anyway at home.
What, you think you got the moves, yeah?
No, I definitely ain't got the moves. But no, so yeah, and I guess the rest is just history. Like, it's just, I can't give you a specific moment because I think it just kind of all mixed in with the music. But yeah, that's.
And then fast forwarding that.
Some of the things, just before you go past, you direct as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And some of the things are like, is it soft porn?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you know what? It's mad. You know how that started, right?
Moonlight's a soft porn star.
Soft porn star.
From what I've seen, yeah. I'm like, yeah,
Wait, you sure something soft? I don't know, my brother. I don't know.
Do you know what's mad? Like,
you're not sure.
I'm not sure. Talk.
Under the bridge or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, like,
What's it called again?
He's got a few. You know what I'm I even just work with a model and see.
All right, so let me
Instagram and see some.
No. So let me give you the story, right?
Clear your name.
No.
Man said clear his name enough.
No, this is quite cool actually.
Rub it off.
So what Longers is referring to is quite close. Not under the bridge. It was called Subway.
Oh, same thing. Clarks me.
Under the bridge.
Subway. And the CM thing.
Yes.
So, all right.
Anyway.
So as Juice would would agree with, we at the time, I remember saying to Juice, I got this track with Junior Reid. It's called Positive Vibes. I don't want to release it because there's not a buzz on my name, man. And I feel like I'm gonna throw it and think. So I went and did a bit of thinking, like a lot of thinking. I said, you know what? I need to do something controversial because if my name ain't ringing, I'm gonna release this Junior Reid track and no one ain't gonna.
It's a dead air.
Yeah. So I said, what can I do? And at that time, I remember like it was all the English and like we're following the Jamaicans. They were like, yeah, we're not gonna go down on no ladies going down bun bowl cats and all them things. I said, fuck it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a video which is just all about going down. And then it was a risk, but then I woke up the next day and
Everyone
Jesus Christ, like.
And you coming from that whole Jamaican influence, because remember, that's totally unacceptable. Can't run.
That's for them.
So,
yo, give me back my drink, man.
So how did that? Oh, how did you deal with that?
DJ Space left the group.
So what you guys got to realize about Yardman is that they got the Yardman when they're out of shoot. Yeah, when them something there, you know, bad man and them something there, and then. When they're talking to you private, they say, "Chum bad, you know, chum bad, you know, can't play it in our way, but chum bad."
You know how they say.
So I wasn't really worried about them at that time anyway. But and then I remember World Star Hip Hop hit me up and they're like, because at that time there wasn't anything viral. World Star Hip Hop were like, "Can we put this on our website?" And I can honestly say, I think I was the first UK rapper to be on World Star Hip Hop, period. I had about 4 videos on it, period.
Okay.
And I remember it was so.
That's when World Star was World Star. Whoa. Yeah.
So as soon as World Star, I was driving my car, they put my video up, and then all you heard was ting 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 like that for about an hour. And I'm not joking, ting ting ting, and your thing gets retweeted across Japan everywhere. Wow. It was
no jokes.
Yeah, literally like ping 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 ping, and you're just trying to clear it. And
so at that point, was it a mistake or was it like,
hell no?
This is wonderful.
That was great. I remember like
what you wanted.
You had DJs talking, they were debating. I remember Skepta then made his porn.
Oh yeah, that's right. All over the house.
All over my house.
Yeah. You agree with porn? You said Skepta made his porn.
Look, you know what it was?
I got mine.
He made his version.
Yeah, he made his one. You know what I mean? Mine was better though. And but yeah, so then that's what he's referring to. But it gave me like blew up my social medias. Gave me more shows, and we were just like the talking topic. And that was before Insta. Yeah. I think it was before. No, it wasn't before Facebook. No, it was before Insta.
And Junior Reid, where is he from?
Jamaica.
He's a Yardman. So, did you have any conversations with him about it?
No. You know what it is?
Them man that own business.
As I said,
them man that do the music with Americans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know, like, remember one of Junior Reid's biggest hits was his remix with This Is Why I'm Hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously you've got and then you got the one blood with the game as well. So you know what I mean?
As long as you give the man their money and you're not doing something that's like obviously
around them.
Then do you know what I mean? And
so he never brought it up. Nothing. Didn't speak about it.
Man, he can't bring it up. Do you know what I mean? You're being paid, and plus I had the track already. So what's he gonna do? Do you know what I mean? I had the track,
and it's not the track that he's on.
Yeah,
he's all right.
So obviously that worked for you. So you continue to make soft porn then. Is that what we...
But to be fair,
no, went from world star to porn star.
No. Do you know what it was?
I'm the porniest of the porniest.
That's it.
No.
You know,
if I'm honest, what it was is that I was studying
Moonlyte.
I was studying LL Cool J at the time.
Okay, yeah.
So I was studying more like him because obviously he had the muscles, and I was more studying the guys that I wanted to refer to. Then you had Trey Songz. That I was obviously where we've built like a friendship from being on the shows, you know what I mean? So I'm seeing his videos, I'm like, raw, all right, let me try do my little mix, but not so much. So then I just wanted to be different, do you know what I mean? And at the time in the UK, no one weren't... Do you know what? There was a whole 10 years where people used to say to me, like, your videos are too glossy, and the inting was street. Do you remember those times? And people were like, your videos are too glossy. You know what I mean? There's a guy called Wes. I don't know if you know Fast Name Wes, or you've heard of him. And he rolls with a lot of North guys, doesn't he? So I bumped into him in Rhymes' studio, and he said to me, at the time, bruv, I was with a lot of my North man, and we were like, who the fuck is this guy going on yachts in Miami, and that people were talking about you, because you were doing it. And he was like, but you were too far ahead of your time, because at that time it was all about street, and I was coming off with the glamorous stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to be different though. That was it.
Gift and the curse, man.
Gift and the curse, definitely.
Because there's a lot of people who didn't bust because they were too ahead of their time.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And some of them were lucky for it to have come back on them. Big example of someone who was ahead of his time, and then that opportunity presented itself again. Genuine.
True.
When that Pony track came out a few years before it blew.
True.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So when it first came out, Timberland and his future production.
True.
It was so futuristic that like people just was like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but then all of a sudden it was re-released, and that's when it just blew the world. But there are parts where people are just too.
Is that you lot have probably made more money than any artist.
I'll have one.
Yeah, make it one. It's the truth. Like, you lot have consistently made more money, than most artists. So it's good, even though you had the aim. It's not like you ain't made the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's the experience as well. Do you know what I mean?
Events, you're doing your events.
Oh
yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like depending on yourself and doing things independently, naturally.
True.
For you, that was just natural.
The standard, yeah.
You know
We had to,
so
But you see, the funny thing about it is sometimes it's illusion. Because sometimes you don't make the amount of money that people think you're making from your events, but it's glossy. Do you understand? You've got 1,000+ people in your rave, and people think to yourself, raw, blah blah blah. That it's glossy. It looks good.
Yeah. Doesn't always tell the right story, but
financially.
But in terms of long term,
it helps the CV. Yeah. Helps CV. Helps the reputation.
If you don't want to put on something, you can make your money.
Yeah. I mean, Players and Players was making good money.
Good money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a weekly as well.
Yeah. So people can't, it's not, you can't compare it. You can't forget that. I'm just throwing that.
Promoters are not going to be making the money we were making back then. No, it's just not happening. It's not happening. You're not going to do it.
Yes, it can happen depending on what. Like, some of these guys who's putting on some of these day raves are making some stupid money. And that's because they started charging some stupid money for people to come in.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah. There's some of these guys who are making these day raves are making money.
Like, no one that's these days, in the last, say, 10, will be like a cold design to the G crew, and because in terms of like, no one's made a name. Even it's the whole era, the whole scene, everything has changed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just need to basically have followers on the internet for you to be a big name.
Do you know something? I want to say that, in fact, because this is a huge thing, especially for new DJs. Back in the day, when you used to want to keep an event, there was rituals that you had to do.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So I used to call Dagz Longers, Elliot Ness, Lloyd Life, Days, and we all used to ask each other, have you got an event on that day? And if you did, we would avoid that day.
Wow.
So we all ate good because we all had the courtesy to give each other a call. And that's what people don't realise. Do you know what I mean?
That don't happen no more.
It don't happen.
Talk about D101 and...
Whoa.
Do you know what's mad?
Hold on. When we're talking about somebody before their time, I'm going to tell you someone who was before their time. And you both were going to realise what I'm talking about in a minute.
Yeah.
Promotioncity.com.
Yeah.
No, definitely. .co.uk, but
.co.uk. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
You used to get angry when you said that.
Yeah.
Sean, right?
Yeah, Sean.
Yes.
Sean.
And what's the other guy called?
Neil. His brother.
Because when you check it out, these guys were the only guys who were
You're right.
at every rave, taking up all the pictures.
Right. He's right.
And Nowadays, people have their own cameraman.
They've
blah,
got
blah,
the
blah.
whole Bible,
But they
the whole
had
story of
every
everybody.
single dance on
Everybody,
Promotion
yeah.
City with their own site.
They
Blah
were.
blah blah blah.
Online.
They were one of the first people I used to hear talking about doing tickets online and stuff like that at the time. They were ahead of their time.
100%. Yeah.
You know, they were virtually the ticket masters. No, not ticket masters. Yeah, you can call them the ticket masters of now and all those kind of scenes of the urban scene. But way before them.
Yeah, 100.
Who else was there? Urban World. Remember Urban World?
I remember Urban World
Alistair.
Bakery.
Alistair.
Remember Urban World Bakery.
Alistair.
Rewind, that was more garage, innit?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
more corporate.
But I mean,
that was.
But you know what? Rewind.
D101 had the flyers in there.
Yeah,
But
D101,
you know what?
Lloyd Life.
Rewind started on the Garage Flex, but then you know what? They actually kind of incorporated everything. Do you understand what I mean? Because I remember like a couple of my early mixtapes were actually in Rewind magazine and blah blah blah.
Cool,
So
sick.
do you understand what I mean? Yeah, Rewind weren't just garage.
Talking about it, let's just quickly touch on the CD game. Like, you know, like giving the CDs out outside raves. Can you not touch on that? Come on, you don't have to touch on that because you're all legendary for the CD.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We done because Hot Stepper claimed that he was the first to do CDs. He had a little slogan.
No, but you know what? The funny thing about it is he had mass distribution, so he can claim that simply because the streets. You know, people can say they're the first at so many different things, but when the streets claim you, that's when you can say, yeah, you know what? It was them. You understand what I mean?
What do you think, Moon? He went hard.
I don't even know.
He went hard.
I don't.
No.
To be fair, when we was doing CDs, I don't even think Hot Stepper had a name, like in our scene. So,
no, but you see, the distribution that he was dealing with was on a different level.
So let's just say who had good CDs. Because let me say something like for House, Super D, yeah.
Yeah.
When you got a Super
But
D CD,
that came quite a few years later, but still,
I'm just saying in terms of like even you when G Crew, Longers, Moonlyte, and them lot, when you lot came out of CDs, yeah. Obviously, let me tell you from the, consumer's perspective.
Yeah.
There were CDs that you knew that you saw.
Yeah.
And you played in your yard.
Yeah.
There were CDs that you said, you know what I'm saying?
The throwaway ones.
Yeah.
You mean the ones you used to unice your screen?
This time of year as well, you know, it's a lamb, man.
Unicing the screen with someone.
And then boomerang.
Yeah.
Frisbee.
Or use it when you get road rage.
or even a coaster just for your cup.
Yeah. No, there was a few CDs. I mean, I can't speak
but it's just like
for any others, but
okay, just touch on it for the people that don't know. There's a whole generation of people that don't know and don't understand how the whole flyers and CD part works. So if we could just touch on that.
Go on, Mooney, because that was you all day. You'd print thousands and thousands.
You're right. Okay, so I started years back, and Face will tell you, I had one CD burner.
How many?
One.
How many?
No, one.
Oh, one.
One.
Oh,
Yeah.
A tower of one.
It was actually a deck. I bought that.
Oh, God.
I bought that when I was in school. To be fair.
Yeah, hats off.
But I only copied one at a time because at that time I was selling people's albums. What I used to do was I used to buy the album legit.
Yes.
I used to go to the local youth center, and they used to hate me because I used to use all their ink photocopying the album covers.
Okay.
But they couldn't tell me. They used to tell me off, but they couldn't throw me out because it's a community-led thing.
Yeah.
So just buy more ink, innit? And I used to sell the CDs. Them time you had Usher, You Make Me Wanna, and you had like so that Usher era. And then so I used to. That's how I kind of started like that way to make my little change. Everyone in the ends used to come, but they used to buy my mixes as well as
everything else.
The normal mixes. And then what am I talking about? It definitely was me. What am I talking about? I used to sell. Do you not remember my mixes with my big head and the yellow Avrix jacket on the front that used to be sold in shops?
Of course.
So yeah,
talk the things, man.
So I had a mix that I used to put out every month. I can't remember what the name of the mix was, but it was basically it was my mix, had some of my personal music and like this known music, and I used to distribute that in Stratford, but that was before Westwood was around. It was in the Stratford old shopping centre. There was a CD store right next to where the Burger King is, opposite. A black lady owned the CD store. Then in your ends, in Wood Green.
I was gonna say Wood Green.
Yeah, right. That's right.
You remember I don't know if you lot ever got
Which one?
You remember in Wood Green in the shopping centre when you go around?
Yeah. The bottom floor.
In the what's it called? You're talking about in the food market hall. Yeah.
So then you had them in Body Music Tottenham, and I used to drop them, say, like on a Saturday. Then I used to go on radio on a Saturday, and I used to be like, my CDs just drop, go get it in these different areas. But when you get it calling live, so people like, I got your CD, and then it was literally, I would used to call around, how's it going? They're like, oh, we need 10 more, we need 12 more. So yeah, that was before.
That sound like Body Music, man.
Yeah. That was
like them with the tickets.
Yeah.
When I had tickets
exactly.
the events.
We
need 10 more, bring it. And you're gas, so you're gonna run.
Of course, you're running there.
Quick time.
I was selling CDs. People were paying for my music. Do you know, my mixes, so to speak. So
you know what I'm saying? That's before.
That was before people were giving out for free. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, so I as far as like, as you said, maybe Hot Stepper in terms of the mass, maybe
mass,
mass
and a certain time.
Because remember, Hot Stepper was just smart. Stepper was just smart. Basically, Stepper just watched what was going on and took that distribution level up to a different height. Do you know what I mean?
Like 2 years. It wasn't like a big stretch of. If you ask me, I'm not.
Oh no. He did quite a few years. Quite a few years. Yeah, I mean, you have to give him his props. Yeah.
He's been at.
We think was longer, but that when you think back, it was like that's not been 2 years.
Oh no. He was there for a while.
He's just very focused.
What I mean, what it is with Hot Stepper, everybody was talking about a Hot Stepper CD. Like people would be, people have, but people. No, I'm talking even before Choice. You know what I mean? People used to hand out CDs, but because of his mass distribution that he was dealing with, like people used to talk about Hot Stepper.
Just the brand. He built the brand. He built consistency.
I remember the days of G Crew.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. No times.
And that's what I mean. He watched everything that was going on.
That's what I'm saying. Even that whole period was probably like 10 years, maybe 15 years. So like even within that scheme of that 10, 15 years, he came like the end.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He came towards the latter part.
No, he went there.
What year is it?
No. So
what year are we talking about?
No. So if we start from,
you know what? No. Let's you just give him his props, bruv. Like that side of it. That side of it. That side of it. That's what I'm saying to you.
I'm not giving him his props. No, but the truth. Like I'm a behind the scenes guy that was part of this shit.
Yeah. No.
So I remember when he came in. That's what I'm saying. I remember when he became hot.
Must have been about 2005.
No. I think.
I'm not saying that.
Do you know what is?
The truth, but how long did he last? To 2010? Because he wasn't going past that.
Oh no, he was.
Maybe
he was.
He also changed the house. Like a lot of other DJs.
Yeah, but remember, he was still holding events, and those events that he was holding were still some of the biggest events that was around. He was getting any club he wanted.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Privileges, isn't it? More than likely. Yeah.
But you got to put this into context. So I understand where you're coming from. So what you're saying is, in the times from 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or wherever. Maybe he came in 2005, 6.
I'm thinking 5.
Yeah. So there was a period.
I remember I done a dance and he rang up for guest list. Yeah. And he introduced himself.
So he's coming later, but as far as the CDs, which you are right, in terms of mass production,
he did make an impact there.
He did.
Yeah. So
I'm saying Elliot Ness was the big dog before Hot Stepper.
Yeah.
In my memory.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I guess to somewhat extent you're both right. He definitely came in, he did his thing, big DJ. Whether his CDs were known for the fact of them being quality like Moonlyte CDs or Dagz's CDs or Longers' CDs is different. But you know what I mean, I can speak on my thing.
Well, basically they became a CD that was basically playing a lot of the same music that you heard on the last CD, and that's what it was. But at the same time, he just had that buzz.
But see, I think it's different as well, because see, that's what I'm saying, and you've touched on something, because when I made my CDs, I made them with passion.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? I can tell you honestly, people watching this will tell you, people used to copy my CDs And they all used to end up in Jamaica. People playing them on the beach in Jamaica. Like it was a thing where, do you know what I mean? I'm putting.
Some of the CDs didn't leave it. Didn't make it past the car.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Some of you lot CDs would make it past the car into your yard, fam. That's what
Listen,
I'm saying.
CDs get teeth out of people's car.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I mean.
That's
right. Can I have another one, please? Because
someone teeth it.
Minute, Merelda took my CD.
Yeah.
Them hot stepper CDs, you're trying to be current. You're just trying to be with the current.
No, but I think that's what I'm trying to get at. I think with hot steppers,
mix.
No, with hot steppers,
People might come in a minute.
No.
You know what I mean?
Hyper.
Hyper, yeah.
Big up hyper.
Hyper, yeah. Hey, sexy.
Yeah, I mean.
But you know what it is now? Hot
It
Stepper.
was still good CDs, but I'm saying it was
No. So Hot Stepper did it for the promotional purpose,
Yes, aspects,
and it worked.
Big time.
He's a businessman.
Right.
Straight
I
businessman.
made the mixes
From passion, love.
in order to shut shit down and have my shit copied and people talk about it and me log onto a radio station and then randomly play my CD as an autopilot and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So it's two different things. So, do you know what I mean? You know,
That's the only reason I was fighting for it, because I remember there's a difference.
Yeah.
We actually weren't known for our CDs, to be honest. Budja done quite a few CDs, but we was more known for our
cassettes.
Something different.
What's that?
Our DVDs.
Yeah. Oh.
How to be a
Dagz is porn.
Yeah, my type of porn, yeah?
His porn was called How to Be a Gent.
Yeah, we was fully dressed, we had a tie on, yeah? Fully dressed porn.
Nah, those were sick.
Yeah, so that we thought was
Who was that? Snagger?
Yeah, Snagger. Yeah, big up Snagger for real vibes creation. Yeah,
Snagger's definitely a guy who helped out everyone.
Yeah.
But your stuff was serious.
You looked at that early as well.
So that was,
and How to Be a Gent was a good theme because that was one where I don't want to see them pictures no more because I've seen like the big ass trousers I used to wear.
we all
look like Jackson 5, man.
We're all guilty, bro. We're all guilty.
But
bro.
yeah, that event was definitely
them events. Yeah, nice days.
You know what?
Nice days.
It set a trend for suited and booted parties.
It did.
Because it weren't fashionable.
No,
it weren't fashionable to come in trousers,
hard shoes,
church shoes.
Yeah.
But then we implemented it, Sooks and Spice
and then
days.
it kind of took away a lot of the crime as well.
Yeah.
Like as in the troublemakers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of North London, a lot of them peeled off because they weren't coming.
They weren't coming. Yeah, they more
smart
stuck
ones.
to the scholars and stuff like that.
So it definitely had an impact. So what have you been doing in this time then? What's your mind like? Because all these new Boris announcements and seems like we don't know when we're gonna go back to how it was.
I feel like I'm kind of lucky to somewhat extent that I mean, because when you watch the news, you see people that are in some bad positions and that like families that can't afford computers and people getting crazy with their kids and stuff. So I'm not one to complain. Like I've got just the thing people don't. Or some people may not know about me, but over these years, I've always kind of like, my money would always go on stuff that would be valuable. So I've got my own studio. Investments. So I got my own studio. Do you know what I mean? I can do what I want to do. I got my home production company. So what I'm trying to get is, that's where my money's been invested. So I've got the luxury to be able to make music all day, or I got the luxury to go and shoot all day. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'm okay in terms of that. I can just be creative. Do you know what I mean? Think of new ideas. It's just So I'm in a decent position.
So is the love more now on the business side more than the music? Like Moonlyte the DJ. Have you done any online stuff?
Yeah, I'm not really. Do you know what it is? DJing for me is serious. So there's a few reasons why I got out of DJing. One is I'm used to being on stages. Palace Pavilion was a stage, and when we used to tour with like Pay As You Go, they were MC. It was stage. So I got to plan my performances and do stuff. Then it became like you're in some corner in some bar, and that never really sat comfortable. I'm not DJing to people's backs.
Talking about them kind of things, do you feel like the Silks and Spice stage was part of the transition of that?
Yeah, I do think it was, because it created a bar vibe where people are in their own kind of segment. Where in Palace, when I'm talking, I'm addressing 600-700 people and they're looking at you. But now I'm DJing to some big guy's back. You know what I mean? And it's
because of what it was at the time. It actually was a bar.
Yeah. It was a restaurant. It was a restaurant.
That's what I was about to say. We were performing in restaurants. Now, when you're talking about going uptown, West End, City, that's what I'm talking about. 9 times out of 10 you will get into that kind of atmosphere where it's just one little place, little DJ box in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clubs are usually different. The only place that actually did have a kind of stage kind of thing was
Mustard.
No, I wasn't even thinking of Mustard. Mustard did, but I wasn't thinking of Mustard.
Stage.
The one that Classics used to have on lock all the time. Classics.
Yeah, I can't think.
They had this part here and they had the next door as well, and they used to ram both
Revolution.
sides. Not Revolution. No. City, just around the corner from.
Not Agenda.
Agenda.
Do
you remember Agenda had this little like that was kind of like a stage kind of, you know what I mean? But most of those places you will not have that stage type of
so
atmosphere.
That made me kind of like fall out. And then now, if I'm honest, I'm not really feeling most of the music out. It's not really even. I spoke to Face, who's a proper yardman the other day, and I said to him, bro, you're gonna have to tune me in on these new tracks. He goes, blood, me not like them neither, you know. So from Face don't like the new thing.
Yeah.
Then do you know what I mean? So and if you gotta love the music, I love the music. Then do you know what I mean? If you don't love the music, you're just DJing, and then we don't have to get into it, but then you've got a load of shit DJs as well that are just gassed, and then it's just like, do you know what I mean? It's just like
the free download stuff.
Definitely 100%. Any industry that becomes easily available or the to be able to be a DJ is easy. Yeah, everyone's dad's a DJ and everyone's uncle's a DJ and it just ruins the industry, because if you've got to spend most of your money on records, you're gonna be a fucking good DJ. Am I allowed to swear on this show? Or
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a bit late now. You've done it.
Quite a few times.
We'll have to beep you out a good 10 times already.
But yeah, like, so nowadays, you know what I mean? It's just not. It's not enticing, man. It's just, you know. And I'm not.
So when did you find that you just said, I've had enough of this? When?
It was a mixture, man. It was when events started getting smaller into bars and stuff, and then it was like, you know, the music changed in a sense of it just
sound.
Yeah, sound changed, and then the quality of the music, quality of the DJs you're around, and you don't feel like you want to compete with anyone because they're just not. Do you know what I mean? They're just not that good. So I then just started booking DJs. You know what I mean? Opposed to doing DJing myself. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what do you guys think of the current state of DJs now?
Well, I'm not in tuned at the moment with all that, so.
I mean, a lot of it is a push button thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm not a push button DJ.
No.
I still prefer to play on CDJs if possible, but then if I can't play on CDJs, I want to play on the actual controller that is closest to the CDJ.
Right, got you.
Do you know what I mean? All right. Basically, it is what it is. Now, you're in a sink or swim situation. You either continue with what you're doing because you love what you're doing, or basically fall out. I still love what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? I still love a lot of the music.
See, that's good then.
Yeah, if you don't love the music, then
that's what I'm saying.
Everything is just, you know, you can tell some of these new DJs when they're playing the music and they're playing in their own lane, whether they're playing the drill music or whether they're playing the trap music, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to old school, when you hear them mixing this song with this song and this song with this song, you think to yourself, hold on a second. You're mixing them because they're on the same BPM. But they don't quite go together. And that's when you can tell the difference between some of these DJs.
I would say there's a million things we could say, long as like, and both of you would contest. For a start, we're from an era where you're in a record box. You've got your record box when you're DJing, right? Every one track you've got to find individually. Yeah? Now compare that to now, and I'm not saying I'll do that now, but I'm saying compare that to now, where you've got your playlist. Now your playlists are usually in BPM order, which means you're usually going to play the same 3 or 4 tracks within the same order, which stunts your creativity. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whereas in like the other day,
every dance is different,
right? Where the other day I was DJing and I had, on Serato you can just have all, so it has all genres mixed.
Yeah.
And I was DJing from that, but I was just choosing it freestyle. And someone said, "How raw? You ain't using the crate?" I said, "No. When I had my record box, it was just the same. So for me, it's easy. So I think of a track, boom, type it in. Think of a track, boom." They're like, "That's long." So can you imagine with vinyl? You got to take the vinyl out, pull it back in, put it, and still mix fast.
Remember?
Well, you see, no, all right. I kind of go against that.
To what extent?
Because hey, bruv, you got your tools. Use your tools to the best extent as possible.
No, but what
I'm saying with that is, like, you need to get to know what it is that is on your. Do you know what I mean? That's like basically upgrading your laptop and not being able to use the actual.
But I think it's.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand 100, but I think it's a different mindset because when you've got the tracks in front of your face, the words, you're gonna choose one of them. When you've got the record box, you could just see tops of cases. So your mind has to think, what track am I getting next? You don't know. You literally you'll think. So more time when you're mixing that track, you're already thinking about the next track you're gonna grab because there's no time. So your mind's creative, but when it's in front of you.
But check it from another point of view. As a DJ who also holds mic, you now have to think of more than one thing rather than make it easiest for you. Do you know what I mean?
That's the key word, easy.
Check it out. You've got 7, 8, 9, 10 tunes on the same BPM. Do you know what I mean? Here you go. Boop. That side. It helps with your mic because you now don't have to think about the next name of the next song to be able to type it in, and that makes it.
I get both points. I get both points.
Don't get me wrong. I get
you. Yeah. No, I get you too.
But the point is, it's like make everything easy for yourself so you can actually work more efficiently.
But this is why we're thinking. This is where the downgrade of the DJ levels.
Basically,
this is why it's happened
big
because it's too easy.
And this is what I was
That's
saying.
what
That's
Moonlyte
what I was saying
the
with regards to the whole thing of DJs who play now.
I played music, so I remember putting the music down, playing it. And then you got to go for the next one, and your record boxes are in tatters.
Yeah.
Because I got time to put my record back in neatly and look for the next one.
Do you remember the days of saying to yourself, mixing 2 songs together and say, "Bruh, I didn't even realize they go together." Do you know what I mean?
And that's
because you didn't realize the BPMs were the same.
And that's what I mean by creative.
I prefer the creative.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why that's all gone. And I'm not saying that I prefer to DJ on vinyl now, be the only man in the dance with vinyl, but I'm saying that the creativeness, I'm telling you, DJs tend to play the same way,
the same
over and over again.
I feel like you was bound to evolve. You could DJ, but it wasn't just your thing.
Yeah.
You were always doing quite a few
It's mad because I used to watch Sting when I was younger. Like Sting, the early one, Sting 95.
You would prefer to hype up. You could.
Yeah.
One thing I always say is, well, do you know what was smart with you? I remember when you was the first person again to bring in male strippers into the before
this guy's memory, man. I need you to sit here, bro, because you know what.
You done more research than us.
Yeah, I feel ashamed of myself.
You know that I was actually working with these man. I remember like
you was. We was all together. Yeah, we was all a crew. Yeah. We was.
I'm in the place early. I get to see what's actually happening. You know that he was the first man to bring male strippers into dance for women before the dance started.
Yeah, this guy's memory. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was all about trying to just be different.
The vibe that it created in the dance
crazy.
after.
You got 200 girls just seeing a stripper or 2 or 3 or 4. We give them all 1 glass of champagne or prosecco, whatever it was, and then they wait, and then they've got they start at 9, finish at 10. The guys are just queuing up like wolves because they know all these girls, and it worked.
Bruv, you going there, if you're just coming in there, you're thinking, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why are they
so many girls? Yeah. That was
great. A lot of people copied that as well.
Yeah. You're right. A lot of people did. So, but yeah.
So going forward,
Innovator.
Yeah, he's definitely innovator.
appreciate
Definitely, you've been doing this.
Ideas-wise,
He's got a plan, and when you got a plan, you just execute. So
safe, appreciate it.
Hats off to that. So going forward now in this current situation, what's your mindset? I know projects are coming, but what else?
Well, I've got a production company called ML Films. So we're creating short films, feature films, TV shows. I've got a few students that are training underneath me as well, who are gonna have their own productions as well. Nice. So I want like a.
Are you getting grants and stuff for that?
No, not at this stage. No, I put in for. I tried initially with the National Lottery. Camelot, is it Camelot?
Yeah.
What's it called? No, I think grant, but nothing's come through yet. I don't know if it's paused because of the corona, but yeah. So that's.
They wouldn't pause per se. Basically, with these grants, what happens is you have to basically put it in for a certain time, and there's certain times of the year that they release the money. So,
right.
You know, up to such and such a time it has to go in by, and then they release the money at these certain times.
Right, okay, yeah, so I'm definitely going to look into that. But, so yeah, just really the films and just being creative. I like being creative, so I've got shows. I've got released a few shows, a few debate shows on controversial and touching and real-life subjects, such as colorism, such as... just giving insight to how it is in the modelling industry, in the sense of these models nowadays all have agents, but there's a lot of rogue agents, so it's just shedding light on things that really happen within the industry. So yeah, if you want to check in terms of booking models and
was you a model or a bit, or?
No, I wouldn't call myself a model.
You was.
I like to have.
You lie.
Yeah, you was.
You tell too much lies.
If I'm honest, I'm consistent, because every baby picture I have, I've only got a nappy on. There's nothing else. So
I like that one.
No, I'm serious.
I rate that.
It's not a new thing for me. So it's just carrying on. But no, I wouldn't really call myself a model. I've got model gigs. So shout out to Candy Mag, Kosher, and those lot. They're still there. They just moved more to the corporate side. So
They've got a different name?
no, still Candy Mag, but they're doing more corporate shoots opposed to more the urban stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I got a Calvin Klein gig and stuff like that.
But I ain't no model. I ain't a model. I wouldn't really call myself a model, but you know.
Calvin Klein shouted me the other day still.
What up, Calvin?
No, that was like a long time ago. But no, I'm not really doing.
So you're not taking no model jobs?
Well, if it's worth it, yeah, I'll take that, man. If the money's good, I'll take that, man. But
you've been booking models more than anything?
Yeah. So I've been booking models for
agency?
Music videos. I more contact the models themselves now. I used to go for agency. I used to use mainly Xena models because I know her from back in the day. She's good people. So, but I just contact them because sometimes in translation, trying to go with the middle person. Yeah. It just complicates things, you know what I mean? So yeah, booking models is cool for me. I ain't really had no major issues. It's funny, you just reminded me of Club Life UK as well, but we won't even get into that. But yeah, no, Club Life is a reality show. Do you remember it? Clubland, Club Life. Yeah. So that and actually, I'm going to talk about it. That was the first like urban reality show. I don't even think there is that really took off in the UK. Whether like at the time production weren't great because obviously I didn't know much. So in fact, that's how I got into. You've kind of solved it, not necessarily the acting, but the production. Because I had to buy like a multicam setup and learn it. So at the time, it was only Towie and Made in Chelsea on. So we were like the black kind of like thing. And I remember even Kojo on Choice FM, it got so viral, the show, that Kojo and his co-host at the time, the lady,
girl, can't remember
Max.
Yeah.
They were it was like their common morning. So, have you heard about this Club Life? Because it was on Twitter. It was it was talked about a lot, man, and it had hundreds of thousands of hits. And then we got booked to some of the girls we had on the show got booked to and in fact we all did to feature on. We got bookings with like Made in Chelsea and Towie Stars, and then YouTube called us up, went to their head office in West End, and they interviewed us. Then Google called us up, then See It. It was
serious.
Yeah. So
again, before it started, even though you got credit for it.
Yeah, but that was too. It's mad because I sent that off to Channel 4. I had meetings with Channel 4, but they were just like, in other words, they wrote it in their jargon, but in other words, they were just saying like they don't really want to promote black glamour.
Yeah, that's never been the agenda.
They want to more show
the downside.
The downside.
Yeah.
So now they've got like people done up, people who can speak well,
Things have changed.
Yeah, they're like, nah,
changed.
yeah, we ain't fucking with that.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
But they used to show Desmond's though.
That's a bad thing.
Desmond's was on.
They could have actually set the trend.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say they could have set the trend is because where music labels missed out is because they didn't see the shift of the urban scene becoming suburban.
Yeah.
And they missed out on that simply because they still thought they can control the scene.
Yeah.
Now, if Channel 4 had picked that up at that time, they could have been the first of making that shift of making urban suburban.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, so what's going to happen now if people do not take that up? Well, they're just going to have to follow what somebody else is doing.
Do you know what kind of in the time is? If you're consistent with it yourself, you can make sure they
pay attention.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought at the time. But the resources, remember, I'm financing everything independently. I've got a cast of 20 people. I've got camera people editing, and I'm pushing it. I'm like got to a point where I'm telling Channel 4, we've just got interviewed by Google. We just got interviewed by Thing. People are like, YouTube hit us up and said, you're getting so much traction on this show. Do you know what I mean? That come down, we want to interview you. What's this about? But it's like, we spoke with Channel 4, and I actually had someone in Channel 4. So she told me the realness of what was going on. And yeah, the UK, as I said, maybe it was before its time, but then having said that, there's not a black reality show now, is there?
I think you might have confused people with that Google and YouTube. People who don't realize Google own YouTube.
Yeah.
What you got to understand is that even I've had to take this certain time. Even when it's before its time, you still understand that. But you got the lessons from early. No one can do it as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus,
You're 100%.
So no one's got the links to people like you have.
Do you know what? I 100% know what you mean.
You've still got the same resources that can make you be the person that will be in an advantage to do it.
Yeah. No, you know what? 100%.
So
and
never put it out.
No.
Because even the fact that you did it that time is giving you an advantage.
Yeah, it's true.
If you didn't do it before, it wouldn't have given you
It's
an
true.
advantage.
It's true. You know what? I know what you mean. To be fair, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So where can everyone find your socials? This is the time to let them know.
All right.
You've been speaking about so much positive stuff and good stuff, man. Interesting.
I mean, it's mad because I kind of banned myself from social media from Monday to Friday.
Oh, okay.
For the last month or so. Because I just think
that's positive.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Blatant.
But I've given myself 45 minutes a day because I'm promoting the shows now. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's official Moonlyte. Moonlyte spelled Moonlyte. And yeah, I mean that's the main place you can hit me up. Do you know
and
what I mean?
anything that is related to you that they can actually hit up as well, because you got shows and I know they must have their own Twitter and
okay, so if you go on YouTube, just put in ML Films, all my stuff will come up. Films by ML Films. You can see all these debates, shows. I've updated one about colorism. I've uploaded one about colorism today.
Okay.
Yes, and then we've just uploaded one about a girl that's had a black girl that's had 20 different cosmetic surgeries.
Wow.
Things. And in this, so we've got it. We interviewed her for an hour, but we've taken different segments from it. So the current segment up is about her botched BBL, Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
But then she got it done right after. So she explains and goes through the process, which was quite interesting for me because there's
Did she get it for promotion first time?
Oh, you mean someone invited her?
Yeah.
No. She just used it. She went Dominica Republic. She paid her money to go, but she said, her stomach was flat from the BBL, but her hips were still straight, so it weren't done properly.
Yeah.
So she got hip fillers, but that didn't work. So she had to go back and get a same surgery again. So she talks about all the hidden stuff people don't realize, the cost.
And those things are good to know. Simply like, I didn't realize what people have to do to get their veneers until Kojo said it. And he actually was on a platform like this, talking about what needs to be done and blah blah blah, because he doesn't hide it. And what they have to do to your teeth to shave it down and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, it is definitely beneficial to know about all this kind of stuff before you actually go out and get them.
So yeah, so ML Films. If you want to hear my music, then you can just go to official Moonlyte. If you just go
on social media.
Yeah, social media. Just go to official Moonlyte. You got moonlightmusic.com. You can go on that. SoundCloud, Moonlyte. This is all Moonlyte. As long as you put in MOONLYTE,
something will come up.
It will come up on whatever platform you're on. Pornhub.
Right,
yeah.
on that note.
No, if you put in
Moonlyte official.
If you put in Moonlyte under the bridge.
Hashtag Subway. Anyway.
Featuring Longers.
Anyway.
Longers mixing up his own personal under the bridge.
That was the statement. That was the statement.
Big up.
That was the statement podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We had a lovely time. Thanks for the chat. Big up. Always love. Respect. Catch you next time. Peace out. Come on. Boom. Later.